Welcome back, everyone, to episode 3 of the Bystanders. I know, last week I missed us so much, but that just means we have even more to catch up on with our beautiful cast. Jay, I hope that you're feeling better. I know that you were having a rough go of it last week.
I still like lingering, but we're good. We're okay. Yeah.
You got that cute little hat on.
We're alive. Yeah. This has been on for like I think a month now, basically. It's the only thing that helps with the ear infection.
Oh, I mean, at least you found something. Yeah, that's good.
I'm gonna be buried with this hat at this point, man.
It's not gonna be white anymore. It's gonna be like a weird brown. Everyone's gonna be like, you should take that off. Be like, no.
I'm like, no, man, it's this hat specifically. Trust me, I tried a bunch of others.
Speaking of warm and cozy hats, though, Sagittarius, we had some snow in the meantime.
Yeah, luckily, like it wasn't as bad as last year, though.
No, I wanted it to be worse.
Like, shut down, please, the whole city.
Wow.
Like in Seattle, we only get like 1 week of snow. Like one.
We literally got one snow this entire year. It was
What is snow? I've never heard of snow.
I love it so much. I forgot, Cletus, you are a Washingtonite as well.
Yeah,
we had
enough snow for it to melt the next day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I just like last year we had enough that it stayed on the ground for a little bit. I actually got to build a snowman. I was super excited about it. But this year it was pretty much here today, gone tomorrow situation. So I'm hoping that we might get some next month, maybe, but that was probably it. No more snow for me.
Our temperatures from our side of the mountains is supposed to go up to like the 60s this week.
Oh man.
I think spring is here.
Man.
Well, at least, like at this point, I can't be like climate change because that's actually pretty average for Seattle. I liked when we got snow, but it's probably better.
Seattle used to get snow earlier.
Man.
It just doesn't get it early anymore.
Did you guys hear that? You hear Blue Jay deny climate change live on Tablestory? Wow, crazy.
Yeah,
crazy shit.
I will deny. No, I'm kidding. I don't deny climate change, but that's neither here nor there.
You also deny that the world is flat.
Are you baiting me? I feel like either way, I'm gonna.
What's that Mad Max gif where he's like, "That's bait."
That's bait. That's that gif right there. I'm pretty sure that the world isn't flat, but I have no personal experience with the circular nature. I've been on planes, I guess. I'm gonna.
You've made her doubt.
Is the world flat?
You've made her doubt if it's actually a globe.
My plane never flies over the horizon. It keeps staying on the ground.
I've never seen the whole world at once. Oh. And even if I had, I've never seen the other side of it. It could just be flat. Who knows? I'm gonna go watch that video on the Netflix documentary about flat earthers. Isn't that right?
Oh my god!
It's funny because they prove themselves wrong in the documentary. So they're like, "This isn't supposed to work that way. Let's try again."
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
I've watched way too much NASA shit for me to accept that it's flat at this point.
I mean, I have people that I think are like actually intelligent, educated people being like, the moon landing was a hoax. And I'm like,
oof.
Sure, Jan.
It was,
sure. Sure,
Only
Jan.
one of the greatest things that ever happened.
Tadriel like coming out here like, wait, it is though.
Pretty sure it is. Pretty sure that's common knowledge.
That's where you
there were no stars in the
that's
pictures,
something
so that's
you
fake.
Throw out like during Thanksgiving and just see which family member takes the bait. Like, crazy. The moon landing was real, huh, guys? And
yeah, it's so weird. So weird how fake the moon landing was, right?
I gotta go. I think I hear, my astronaut calling me or something. I don't know.
I gotta go. The cult I'm in just called me and said that we have to, die right now so we can go on this comet to Venus. I'll see you later, though.
Venus?
Sorry, I've been both listening to podcasts about cults and watching The Expanse. So I'm getting a lot of conflicting messages.
I actually just started The Expanse this morning.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So good.
I was like 90% of it. I was like, Like
It's
I
a
didn't
little-
understand what half the shit was happening.
It's a
lot
little
of
slow to
times-
start.
A lot of times at the beginning, they have to basically establish the whole universe, how everything is. So it can be like a little much to start. But I feel like The Expanse does a pretty good job of getting you invested in the characters. At least it did for me. I used it as inspiration for the miniseries of this before. I was like, The Expanse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the inspirations.
I still
because
haven't seen it.
You
The
haven't?
Expanse. I haven't watched like any of the big sci-fi shows like the Stargate or Star Trek or The Expanse or.
The most important one is Battlestar Galactica.
You haven't.
I've definitely
say
seen that one. Yeah, that one.
That's a lie.
I mean,
Flat
the
Earther.
best one's actually plus Starship Troopers. That's probably the better of the ones.
Okay, I have seen Starship Troopers. That's
You're doing
the
your
best
part.
of
I'm
them.
doing my part. That's the only thing. I watched that, as a kid, and I was like, all right, I don't need to watch any of them. I've seen them all.
Yeah, watch the show and then watch The Expanse. Because like me, I think in the last week, I've watched at least a dozen episodes of The Expanse. I just have so much sci-fi in my brain. And I'm reading a sci-fi book. I'm just like, how much sci-fi can I shove in here and then vomit out onto all of you?
Playing a sci-fi show, all of
I
it.
like that part except for the vomit part. Like, can I just...
So-
Yeah, don't vomit on me.
No. I just like
Don't
word
vomit
vomit.
Not
Word
right now.
vomit,
I
not
love how
real
that was
vomit.
put too. Just
He's
so
just
we
like,
know.
seriously.
Like
please
I
don't.
I actually don't consent to you vomit. Like joking, but I don't consent to you. Don't do
it,
that.
please.
I won't. I promise. I don't think I've vomited on anyone since I was a baby, a tiny baby. So I think it's fine. Very unlikely. But speaking of sci-fi and words and space and amazing stories, we have one of those of our own. No proto-molecule involved. Don't worry about it. For those of you who understand that reference. For those of you who don't worry about it. But because it's been a little longer than usual, because it's been 2 weeks since our last session, I just wanted to remind everyone basically where we are. At the very beginning of this series, the ship the ship called the ship crash landed on the planet Sean. It crash landed near Sean City, which now is kind of a flaming, smoking ruin in the background. Our players decided not to go back to Sean City to try and save anyone, but instead to move forward to see if they could gather up a ship, maybe some more help, maybe some more materials. So they moved forward to the city of Tiver, which was to the east and currently has active troops from the Jorhild military. Jorhild is a empire, I suppose, that is currently surrounding the planet Sean with battleships. You've seen clips and images on the news of this massive armada in space surrounding this planet. They have supposedly, I believe it was in the news yesterday, that it was definitely the Jorhild ships who fired on and collapsed the elevator over Sean City. And the planet's government is in talks with trying to arrange a ceasefire. But right now, you are not in talks with the planet's government. You are in talks with Gelpy's dear friend Racket, dear friend in quotes, who she knew, who lived in Tiver. Racket received a call from Gelpy, who asked if he had any idea where the Jorhildian military was on the planet, and luck would have it, there was a ambassador and the embassy. The Jorhildian embassy was in the city of Tiver, just outside of Racket's neighborhood. So you made your way to the neighborhood Racket lives in, where you found that Racket's son, I believe, Johnny, is currently, quote unquote, shacked up with the daughter of the Jorhildian ambassador, Chandragupta. She is running away from her father, from the ambassador, who wanted them, her, and obviously the rest of the ambassador's staff and all of the Jorhildian citizens to get off the planet. You had intercepted a secret message, an encoded message from the Jorhildian military demanding that all of the Jorhildian citizens, which would be the ambassador, any kind of military people, whomever would have access to this kind of encoded message, they were all to evacuate the planet immediately. So the daughter, Chandra, when she learned that she had to leave, decided instead to run away to go be with Johnny. You attempted to ask her for information about the if the Jorhildians had a secret military base, if they had access to more ships or weaponry. She, being a 16-year-old girl, doesn't really have that information, but it's likely that using her as maybe some kind of leverage could get you a little bit more access or information. You had thought about, I believe it had come up, that you might hack her compad to try and speak with her father, but that had not yet happened. So when we open this episode, you are all at the end of a restful or maybe not so restful night of sleep. Racket had allowed you any of the space in his rather small apartment or living situation to get some rest. I would love if you could all roll me, how many of you? There's 5 of you. If you could just roll me 1d6 and we'll basically just see who's nearest the door. Whoever has the highest roll is going to be the person woken first, basically. Cubit.
4. Cubit rolled a 6.
Mm-hmm.
Hadria rolled a 1.
Oh, you just do /R or /roll, Cletus, and then 1d6. I feel like it's going to be Cubit, though, with that 6. Okay, so it is.
Oh, man.
So, Cubit,
Oblivious.
you are, let's say, like, when you walk in the apartment door directly to the left of you, there was a rectangular dining table. Because there's not a ton of extra space, I believe they had cleared off the dining table so that you could rest on top of it. And you are woken kind of urgently by someone tugging and pushing on one of your shoulders.
Okay. I think I guess I'll describe sort of what I'm wearing at that point, because I think we were just coming in from the...
Yeah, you were a little bit overcome. You had been 12 hours, I think, on the road. Yeah.
So I had... my usual attire is just kind of like a jumpsuit with maybe kind of a grungy undershirt. I tried to cozy up in it and get comfy, so it's kind of like zipped up, but my hair's kind of jostled and things are all over the place and kind of just jolt. Look up at whoever is waking me, and
you see standing above you the very long, thin outline. It's still dark. It's not the curtains or what have you. Maybe the window has the ability to become opaque or transparent. The window is still opaque, so it's still dark in the room, but you see the long limbed shadow of Racket above you.
Racket, what did...
I don't remember your name, so I'm sorry. But we need you and the rest of you to get up now. It's... Just wake everybody up. I'll be right back. And he just immediately goes outside.
Okay. I'm kind of just like, Racket. Oh, okay. Kind of gather myself together. And who's closest next to me?
I think Uskar rolled the next. So it's Uskar's next closest. I'm going to guess he's probably on the floor. Cletus is rolled a 3. So Cletus might be on the couch that I described Johnny and Chandra had been sitting on earlier. And then farthest away is Amara and Gelpy. They might be taking the bedroom.
Okay, so I'll get up and kind of just... Okay. Where's Uskar? There he is. Okay. Tap him on the shoulder.
A bolt up. Yes!
Uskar,
Yes!
sorry to wake you.
I'm awake.
Racket needs our help. Or
Okay.
so we need to get everyone awake.
Okay, yes.
Can you help me with that?
What am I doing?
I don't know what we need to get ready. I think something's going on. We need to
You hear the door open again, and Racket sticks his head in, obviously on the way from one point to another, with some bleary-eyed strangers behind him, and says, "Don't forget your weapons," and then shuts the door again.
The weapons.
weapons.
What do we need
Oh, no.
weapons?
I shooting practice, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
I think I'll make my way over to Cletus and make sure that I'm not as startling as Racket was, but gently sort of, hey, Cletus, tap him on the shoulder gently.
No response.
As she's trying to go in gently, Uskar goes, Capitan! We need to wake up! We're doing practice with the weapons!
I think I heard that.
Oh, yeah, I would think so.
Gently, still trying.
So Cletus kind of like makes a noise because he's like sound asleep. So he's like, ah! Like literally, that's all you hear is just noises.
Cletus, are you? Are you Cletus? I'm sorry, Cletus.
What?
I'm sorry, I
What?
didn't mean to.
What?
Are you awake? Hello, good morning.
I am now. What do you want?
We need to wake up. Racket needs us.
Cletus tries to like move his leg, switcher slightly not working properly, to the edge of the couch to sit up.
I'm gonna go see if Gelpy's awake.
So down the hallway, you from I don't know how well you slept considering that you're in a new place and it's, like I said, very cramped. The quote unquote bedroom of this apartment is literally a room with a bed. And then there are shelves on either side of the bed that contain any kind of access to clothing and stuff. So basically you're in a closet, but it has a bed in it. And Gelpy and Amara, I assume you might have, short strawed whoever got an actual bed. But you hear from down the hallway, Uskar just roaring, Capitan! At you.
Gelpy probably be snoring pretty loudly. Just the whole night.
All you hear is.
Yep. She's just right at home, super comfortable. She's snoring away.
God damn it! I slept on a couch. Shit.
No, I think she probably took the floor.
No, I was gonna say you take.
I was gonna say it's a closet. It's probably a big enough bed for both of you, but there's not a lot of floor space. That's why Uskar was in the other room.
We can have shared corners.
You both rolled the same number, so you both get the bed. That's how that works.
Okay.
Then I slept
My feet are in your face, and I'm sprawled out, drooling from my mouth.
And I'm snoring away.
Amara doesn't associate.
Why are we all
Capitan,
expecting to be
so
the
she
most
doesn't-
the worst sleepers?
I think I kind of stumble in the doorway and knock on the door, and it's Stru still kind of, hey, hello, Capitan. I am assuming. Racket needs us. I think Gelpy, we need to get some sort of. He says we need weapons. Any idea why or what we just got ourselves into?
Weapons?
Weapons.
That's fine.
Awake.
That's just Racket. They're probably out practicing for the morning. It's fine. This is normal. Let's get going. And Gelpy will flop herself off of the bed.
Like a penguin.
Exactly.
You do remember that basically as soon as anything had gone wrong in the city, Racket built an entire barricade around his neighborhood. So like Gelpy's saying, he may indeed be prone to overreacting. So that's not completely out of the possibilities for you. So do all of you gather all of your things? Is anyone no, this is probably just junk. I'll, leave whatever. Or are you like, no, we must be prepared? Like, how do you?
Yeah, Uskar, while they're doing that, Uskar is probably relaying to Cletus about how he's ready to go to war. He's like, no, I have never been part of big fight, but I have a big gun just in case. And I have a large laser rifle. And I'm just hefting it in my hands. So I have this, but I do not know how to use. But I will go to war if I need to for the Capitan.
Uskar.
Yes.
I need breakfast first.
Yes, me too.
I need breakfast. I need coffee.
No.
Let's not war right now.
I do not want to go to war on an empty stomach.
Yeah, I don't want to go to war with no food in my tummy. I promise.
But we must find a better place to live.
Can we go get breakfast first? Can we get breakfast?
No, we cannot.
We'll go?
Is there any sort of like kitchenette or like place where you can prepare things?
So I'm not 100% sure if this fits in with the technology level of this planet, but because it's my fake space planet and I can do what I want, there's definitely just a replicator behind the dining room table.
Nice.
The only difference is that it can only pre-assemble dried, dehydrated. Basically, it has a store of dehydrated foods that the quote-unquote replicator just rehydrates for you.
Listen, you can dehydrate a burger.
Yes, you could for sure.
I think I'll kind of stumble away from where Gelpy and Amara are and kind of just wander back in and hear you guys talking about breakfast. And all right, guys, what's on the menu? As I walk
I'll take one of them burgers. Got a burger?
It kind of like going through the menu. Do you like them dry?
No. Can you make it not dry?
I'll give you my best with this.
No, I can
kind of like
the machine rehydrates it.
Okay. Okay.
That's what the machine. I'm just saying.
It's a little raisin cheese.
It's just like
it doesn't assemble them. It doesn't assemble them from like different molecules into whatever food you want. It's just it's a very fancy rehydrator.
Okay.
Instead of just like magic science. I'm just trying to make it a little less magic science, okay?
Got it. No, okay. Yeah, I got your burger coming up.
I'll take some coffee and I'll try and get ready.
Uskar is kind of sitting on the couch like utterly confused now. Like he sat down and is like, we're supposed to fight!
We're gonna go fight. We gotta eat breakfast.
Oh.
Cletus has his priorities.
It's gotta happen, man.
Okay.
So is anyone going to, is everyone going to be staying to get breakfast? Or is anyone going to be like, I just want to figure out what's going on? Like, are you all going to sit down and have breakfast?
They're going to have to.
They're
going to have to.
Peeking out of the door in anxiety, because you said Racket left from another door, right? He came in one and then left through another.
He left through the front door. He just peeked in. The closest person was Cubit, so he woke Cubit and told Cubit to wake everyone else, and then a little bit later he came back from wherever he was going with two like bleary-eyed sleepy other people and poked his head back in the door and said, and bring weapons, and then went back.
Well,
I noticed Uskar's patience is running thin on me. So instead, all right, Uskar, I'll drink a cup of coffee and we'll get out of here, okay?
Yes, it's okay. You drink.
Can we eat afterwards?
Yes, we can eat. Right, Capitan? Can we eat?
Absolutely, we can eat.
See, we can eat.
Yeah, I would have said that.
All right, I'll drink some coffee and we'll get at him. We'll go get it.
So what was that, Amara?
Yeah, I was gonna say Amara came out of the bedroom, kind of stumbling, strapping her monoblade to her belt, and asks Cubit where Racket was.
He just left out the front door. There were some guys behind him. They looked as sleepy as we were, though. I'm not sure what's going on.
Should we follow him, or did he give us any GPS coordinates?
No, he just said meet outside. I'm gonna grab a coffee first, and I'll follow you.
I'm behind you on that coffee.
At least that's probably a little quicker than getting an entire rehydrated burger for everybody.
Listen, priorities, goddammit.
Okay, me, I'm
I
going
understand.
first. Yeah, I'll peek out while they're doing that.
Okay. So Uskar, you can either choose to go like down the stairs through the like garage warehouse where Racket keeps all of his things that he totally obtained legally, definitely. So you can either go down the stairs and through this garage, or you can just look out the window. It faces into the street, and if you'll remember from when you came down here the day before, if you just look straight out on the street, you will have like a 30% view of where the actual barricade was, which is probably, if anything's happening, going to be in that direction. And then the street in front of you is basically just looking at another apartment, and then down the street behind you there was some ground vehicles on the street, but there wasn't necessarily anything important or that I described, so it wasn't important if I didn't describe it behind you. So it's just the apartment in front of you and then a little bit of the barricade.
Yeah, I'll try and get the best view there on the barricade, whether it be like looking out the window, or if I know the best view would be going downstairs.
It would definitely be easier to see more of it because you're not facing directly towards it from the window.
Okay, yeah, then I'll follow Racket then as well and go outside through the garage then. I'll go through the garage and go find them.
So while the rest of you are brewing some coffee and getting, I don't know, to-go cups or what have you, just scrounging around whatever Racket has in his apartment, Uskar, you go down the stairs through the... It's still dark, but you can tell that there's light. The garage has been lifted. It's one of those rolling metal doors. It's been lifted open and it's still open, so there's light at the back of it, but there's not very many lights in this warehouse style space. So you go through, and as you exit the garage, you can immediately hear that there are people moving around in the streets, and you can see that Racket is quietly whispering to the two guards who were at the barricade entrance, who are now holding their ground, not in front of the barricade casually like before when you arrived, but both of them are inside, kind of like hiding with their guns still pointed on the street in front of the barricade. Obviously you can't see past the barricade itself, but Johnny and Chandra are also outside.
So irresponsible. So I can like clearly see that they're like under some kind of they're in like defensive positions, right? Yes.
Okay. Racket is like not yelling, he's being rather quiet, but the guards who were kind of like just casually hanging out in front of the barricade yesterday, now they are very tired looking, but they're behind the barricade aiming outward.
So I'll get a little close and I'll whisper, Racket, what is going on?
That's whispering? Okay.
Yes.
So Racket immediately shushes you. He's like, shh.
Okay.
And then he brings you back a little ways from the barricade. If you had walked all the way out there, he brings you back a little bit. And he says, well, this morning, the ambassador, Chandra's dad or whatever, he came to pick her up. And as you remember from yesterday, she's not really wanting to go with him. So it's kind of a stalemate at the moment. He wants to talk, but I'm not great. I was hoping that one of you would be able to help, at least advise me.
Yes, we get the Capitan. She's amazing with words. She's a strong woman. She can dissolve the situation immediately. Yes.
Anyway, they have a truck.
Okay.
And some folks.
Yes.
So I was hoping that, having some folks of my own.
They need a driver, yes.
Would, not to drive necessarily, but just, show of support so that they don't think that we're just yuppies or whatever. I mean, I have men of my own, but for the most part, this neighborhood, it's just, families. So I was hoping that you guys could just kind of like back me up. And he looks like he's rubbing his hands on his pants a little bit, and he looks like nervous. Like he definitely didn't expect the ambassador and however many people in a truck to come rolling up on his neighborhood.
I'll reach my hand out if I can onto his shoulder, and like with a really strong grip to stop him from like moving around so much. And I'll look him in the eyes and go, "You're okay. The Capitan, she's amazing. Very strong woman. She will dissolve this. Make everything go away. We will follow her and lead her, and all your problems will go okay. Okay? And Oscar, he will be here to look very strong, okay? Yes, I am the biggest of all of us. Okay? Look at my muscles. I am the perfect husband, and I will prove myself, okay? That is why I have begun.
Right.
I will go to war.
Y'all were talking yesterday about trying to get a ship. So, I mean, certainly holding a 16-year-old isn't necessarily my favorite thing, but having an actual ambassador could be valuable in terms of getting us off this planet. Right? That's still what you wanted.
Whisperer has no idea what you were saying. What is ambassador? A child?
No, it's a full-grown adult.
But she's too young.
I mean, she's just a kid.
Yes.
Can you get Gelpy?
Yes, they are coming. Uskar said we must go to war because Uskar thought he was coming out and it was a war zone. But they're saying that they need coffee and they're hungry. They don't have muscles as big as Uskar, so they need to take a little longer. Uskar will watch them.
Okay.
I'll run back and yell at them to hurry up if they haven't already.
I'm assuming coffee didn't take super long.
We're walking out the door as he's coming back.
Okay, so you all see the same sort of situation that I described to Uskar. We have Johnny and Chandra and Racket, 2 guards standing on the inside part of the barricade. You can't see anything on the outside, but as of right now, there's no like yelling or noises. Once you get closer to the barricade itself, you do see that there are still the snipers set up in the windows of the apartments above. They're looking down and menacingly, moving their rifles around.
So when we meet up, I'll say, Capitan, there is the man, Racket. He is saying that the girl's father, she has come, she wants to take him, and he is not good with words, so he needs somebody to be good with words and somebody to be very strong, and there is a truck full of people, and he needs to drive them, but they want to drive in here to take the girl. So Uskar needs to look very strong, and you need to talk to them and be the strong leader that you are, and tell them that they do not need his daughter anymore, that she's staying with us.
You want me to talk to them?
Yes, you are the Capitan. Okay.
Cletus, do you wanna talk to them?
Yes, delegation, very important.
I could probably talk at them if they need me.
So Racket, when he sees the rest of you coming up, he kind of walks again a little bit away from the barricade, and he's running his hand through his hair. And Gelpy, you can tell that this is basically just like he deals with people, but this is way above his pay grade, and everything that's been going on is just like a lot. So he's looking a little bit more tense and kind of overwhelmed, but he approaches all of you and kind of nods at the weapons in your hands like he asked, or in your backpacks or on your hips or whatever. And he says, so this morning, well, just before I came and woke you up, the ambassador came and said that Chandra needed to come with him, and they were leaving this morning, and I told him that I had to go and get her, so I bought a couple of minutes, but whatever y'all wanted to do in terms of like finding the guy, he's here. So
Is he in town right now?
he's right outside the barricade.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
that gives us a little less time to plan things out.
Yeah.
What's his temperament like?
And he like
Kind of mad.
he doesn't I mean
They have his daughter, right?
You remember when you set my arm and I yelled at you, but I wasn't really yelling at you because I was mad at you. I was yelling at you because I was in pain. This guy, he doesn't look like he's angry because we've upset him. He looks like he's angry because, well, I mean, things aren't going his way either. Runaway teenager, being forced to leave your home. Like, he's not pointing a gun in my face. He's just a dude, I guess.
Well, maybe
I mean, he didn't barge in on us when we said we needed to go get her or anything.
Well, maybe like Amara suggested, we should, Cletus, you've been able to socialize with all of us and kind of break us out of our shells. Maybe you can,
Yes.
kind of like see if we can negotiate with this guy a little bit.
I think it's different talking to people that I'm socializing with and trying to protect us from dying. It's a big difference.
Well, maybe he just needs a friend.
It's technically the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give it a try. If it's gonna help y'all, I'll do my best.
Yes. Do you have alcohol? Cletus is very good with alcohol. He makes
I
some
do
friends.
have some whiskey left.
Yes,
Pulls
it's
out
whiskey.
a bottle of whiskey.
Secret power.
Perfect. While you're all in like this circle and kind of obviously talking things over, Chandra and Johnny also leave the barricade and come up to you. And Chandra, kind of hiding a little bit behind Racket's shoulder, like butts into the circle a little bit, and she says, you're gonna go tell him I'm not leaving, right? Because I'm not.
Okay.
Not without Johnny. And then Johnny like nods.
Yes, young love. It is to be admired. Whistler thinks.
I don't want to have to make you go, but I'm gonna do what's best for everyone.
What do you mean, make me?
I mean, I'm not gonna tell him to take you. I'm not gonna walk out there and say take her. That's
Right.
all I can promise you.
Maybe we should.
I can't tell you. I can't tell you what he's gonna do.
Well, I mean, just don't. He's still my dad, all right? I just, whatever, just don't, like, I don't know, hurt him or whatever.
I think Cupid's like kind of bent over, pulling things out of her pack, has her coffee like in between her teeth, holding the cup while not in her bag. I think she kind of stops and pipes up and is like, is there anything that we can use to talk with your dad? Any sort of bargaining chip, or what? How do we talk to him? Like, we don't know anything about him.
Well, so all I know is what happened is we got a call. Dad got a call, and then he said that we had to go. And then I saw on the news just like a few minutes later that Sean City had been destroyed, and that the Jorhildian fleet was, so I assume that was why he got the call, why we had to leave. I told him I wasn't going. He said that we had to. He's an ambassador, so his job is kind of to like talk to people, and he does a lot of phone calls and meetings. Well, we've had other ambassadors over for dinner before, from all sorts of places. One time there was an ambassador who could move things with her brain. That was super cool.
Wow.
I think Cupid at that point kind of like stops. Doesn't feel super uneasy, but she kind of just like, okay, I'm gonna go back to packing my bag.
Do you think he's maybe worried about you? Like your safety? Do you think we could maybe convince him to let us come off the plane? Like, would you go with him if Johnny came?
I mean, well, yeah, I just like, if they're in such a rush for us to leave, I just, like, it does seem really dangerous with everything that happened to Sean City. And I just, if that's going to happen, and she looks around and looks at Racket, like, if that's going to happen here, I couldn't. So I told, if he lets Johnny come, then Johnny, like, kind of clears his throat a little and looks sideways at Racket and says, it wouldn't be fair to just leave with just me.
Yes.
Like we gotta try and find a way to save more people, right?
That is why we get the big ship. And then we
Yeah.
take all of you. And the captain, she will drive it. And we will pick everybody up. We scoop everyone up. We can drive down the street.
I mean, and Chandra's like looking like she's weighing the situation. She's like, if Dad has a way of getting off the planet, then like certainly a few more people, it's not a big deal, right? So we just tell him that I'll come if he can, help us. Right?
Yes.
Sounds like a good idea. I
Okay.
like that idea.
Cletus, you must work your magic.
So I gotta tell him he's gotta bring everybody.
Yes. Right?
So
Look
he's
at
like,
Amara. Right?
Right.
so he's like an ambassador, and he's really smart, and he's got a lot of money.
I
He's
mean,
got a big ship, and we want him to take us in his big ship. Is that what you're asking?
well, yeah, I mean, I don't know how big. The ship that we came down to the planet on wasn't like huge or anything. And if it's the same ship as that, then it can't fit like the whole city.
Okay, does he have another ship that could fit the whole city?
I-
Because that is what we need.
I mean, no.
Okay, we'll have to find.
So
someone
how do
else's
we
daughter.
choose who goes? We play paper, rock, scissors?
And Racket looks over at you, and he's like, I mean, I guess it depends on how many people, right? Like if he can fit 20 or so, then like I'm covered, you're covered, Johnny's covered, a couple of my boys and their ladies or boyfriends can come. But if he can only fit like 4 people, then that's a different situation. Right?
True. That's
Okay.
true. That's actually right. So I'm guessing what we got to do, first off, we got to gauge how big his ship is and if he's willing to work with us.
Easy.
I think if we can convince him that we're trying to protect Chandra too, maybe that'll like tap into that. I don't know anything about it, but that like paternal instinct type thing. Maybe. I don't
Maybe
know.
he'll become a good father for a minute. Is that what you're saying?
Chandra like looks down like ashamed, like, oh.
I kind of want to be that guy that points out the obvious that Chandra's kind of not doing the right thing right now. Like,
I mean, who
wanna
does
point
the
out-
right thing when they're 16?
yeah, I want to point out that you're being a very stubborn child right now.
I mean, what would you do if someone came along and said that you could be safe, but you had to leave everybody you ever knew?
I'd stay. Cubit
I'd probably.
kind of sips the rest of her coffee. Yeah, I'd stay.
I don't want to get anyone in trouble, but like, it just doesn't feel right.
We leave a whole planet behind to travel with the previous captain, but now Oscar is traveling with Amara, the new captain. So you know, it's
So
just
what are we
hard.
So Racket, like standing still like a good foot taller than literally everyone, says, So, you gonna help me talk to him then, Cletus, right?
Yeah, I'll talk at him. We can go talk to him.
All right. And he turns to the rest of you and says, now, wait here. It didn't look like any of the people with him were, like soldiers or anything, but I don't want all of us just out in the open like that. So y'all stay behind the barrier and me and Cletus will go talk to him. Make sure he doesn't get an eye on Chandra. We don't want him to know that she's here yet. I said it would be a minute.
Take
Girl,
care,
I'll
Cletus.
stand in front of her.
Where'd she go?
So I start hobbling with my cane behind him.
As Cletus leaves,
Very slow.
I say, thank you, Cletus. And I kind of look at him like really like intensely in the eyes.
First I lose my bar, now this.
Lost a bar. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was all that it meant, everything that meant to me. It was my favorite.
Was that in Sean City? Is that where you're from?
No, it was in our ship.
Wait, y'all had a ship? Why aren't you leaving on that? Oh, right.
Yeah, we lost it.
Did you get shot down or?
I don't think we got shot down. I think things just didn't go well. If that confuses you, I'm sorry. I can't really tell you what happened.
Nah, it's fine. Like things yesterday are a bit fuzzy for me too.
Yeah.
So it's all right to let you do most of the talking. I'll stand here, and he like gestures with his gun and like look threatening.
You want me to look threatening? Or you
No. I'll look threatening.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't really look threatening. I'm on a cane and I barely walk. So.
So he, when you say that, he like looks down, it looks you up and down and smiles, and he says, well, maybe that'll work to our advantage. And then puts his like gun on his shoulder, like people do in movies. They like have the gun on their shoulder. I don't know. And then the two of you walk towards the barrier. As you go through the center opening, the two guards at either side nod at Racket. And as you walk out, you'll see that there is a middling height man with light brown hair. He's wearing a tan sort of like military-esque suit, but it's obviously still like a civilian suit. It's just cut very severely. His hairline is receding a little bit, and at the buttons on his stomach, the suit is a little bit tighter. Like maybe he used to be more fit, but has kind of lost a little bit of that. He's talking to another person who's standing next to this very basic looking, not like an SUV, but it's a larger, like not a van, but it's a larger vehicle. Probably like an all-terrain vehicle. And he's standing talking to one other person who appears to be wearing a dark green uniform. But again, there's no visible weaponry. It's not like a soldier's uniform. At first guess, you might assume that it's the staff from the embassy uniform, because it looks more like a house or a hotel kind of uniform. And he's standing and talking to this person, and when he sees Racket and you exit the barrier, turns to acknowledge you. Racket, is Chandra with you? And Racket says, we had a couple of things we want to talk about with you before. This is Cletus. He's part of the family.
I reach out my hand to shake his hand.
And he shakes your hand, and you notice that his hand it's a little like sweaty, basically, like in a nervous kind of way. When you shake his hand, you notice that. And he notices when he grasps your hand that his hand is like that. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Everything that's been happening. This is the last thing I wanted to deal with, a runaway.
Okay, you don't have to worry about me. My name's Cletus. I am the bartender of the ship. Nice to meet you, sir.
Bartender?
Yes, sir. Been doing it for 20 years.
Sure. Did my daughter speak to you then? What's going on, Racket? We need to leave, and Chandra needs to come with me.
Well, we would like to talk to you about a preposition. You'd be okay to talk about it.
And he like rubs at his forehead and sighs frustratedly, and it's just like, I never expected that I'd raise a child to be this difficult.
I get it. I got to meet her, and I get what you're saying. I've been thinking the same thing. I was like, I feel bad for you. You know what I mean? I come out here, and first thing I want to tell you is I'm sorry, man. That's a lot to handle. But I'll tell you, we was talking, and we want your daughter to come. You know, we want her to be with you. We also all want to be safe. That's all that's important to me right now is the safety of my crew, the safety of my friends. So we were thinking, if we can get you to allow us to get on the ship and go with you, we'll bring your daughter. We'll all go together.
I don't know what you're under the impression of, but from my understanding, Tyver is a perfectly safe city. No one here is being threatened. My daughter just ran away.
Yeah, but we want to get going. We got to get out of here.
I'm sorry to hear that, but currently, the planet is under some sort of quarantine. Have you been watching the news?
Are we going to play this way? Or do you want your daughter?
I don't know if I understand.
Do you want your daughter? Do you want her to come with you?
Of course I do. Why else would I be here?
Then we'll bring her. We'll all get on the ship and we'll get to safety.
So you think that I, an ambassador who is relegated to live on this outside of the Jorhildian Empire planet, have the power to bring civilians with me wherever I choose to go with no one questioning me? I think you assume too much. If I was truly important, I would be back in the Jorhildian Empire on Nuda in a position of power. Not on this backwards planet.
Well, that was the preposition that we wanted to make with you. So I think you have to make a decision.
So what you're saying is if I don't deign to take the two of you, and I'm assuming Johnny, with me, then my daughter will just stay here.
I can't control what your daughter does, sir, and I apologize for that. But that's her decision.
And he turns a little bit to the side and motions to the person that he was talking to, who comes up to his side. She has like black hair that's tucked back in a very severe bun. And he says to her, like, he under his breath, so you can't hear it like just straight away. He says something to her, and she like turns back to look at the ATV, and then turns back to him and whispers something. And he says, if it's the four of you, we can... Some of my staff are willing to make sacrifices. Will that be enough?
Not just four of us.
Dear Lord. What exactly is it that you want from me?
We want to make things better between you and your daughter. We want to get you back together. But we also want to get to safety. And the only safety is out of the quarantine right now.
I assure you, this place is perfectly
Don't
safe.
assure me anything. You know the truth. I know the truth. And you want your daughter.
What? Before I promise you anything, I need Chandra to be here. I want to hear from her.
We can make that happen. But before I make that decision, or Ratkid makes that decision, I need to get some kind of answer out of you. Maybe like a half-ass answer. I don't care. I need to know if we're going to get safety. And then I'll go get her.
The vehicle I currently have, as you can see, and like he motions to the ATV behind him, which is like shiny and black and very official government vehicle looking, has the ability to hold 8. 8 people, including myself and Chandra. This is the only vehicle I still have, as the rest of my staff and members of the embassy are already on board my ship. We have 6 seats. That is all I can give you. That is everything I have to bargain with. Unless you want the embassy itself, which will be evacuated, you can have that. But since you want to leave, I have 6 seats, and that is all.
Out of character, now that I know the amount of seats, I'm assuming I need to go speak with my...
Yeah, there's definitely like...
Yeah, this is like...
If you want good. Racket and Johnny, and like there's 5 of you, plus Gaius and Savara, who I guess I didn't describe, but like they're still with you. That's more than 6 people, yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to go back and talk. All right, here's what we're going to do. That's not probably going to accommodate the amount of people that we have with us. We're going to go talk to them, okay? We'll be back.
When you come back, I want to hear from my daughter in person. No video call.
I'll try and get her to come over here.
All right. And he motions to the car, and several other people wearing the same like staff, like dark green uniform come out of the car and are like gathering like bags and things.
We're going to walk back over to the rest of the group.
Well, I mean, this is Racket speaking. Cletus did he's kept his head, which is good. The ambassador seems frustrated, but I mean, who isn't nowadays? They only have 6 seats.
That's not room for enough room for all of us.
Okay. So we get the ship ourselves, and then we get the whole citywide ship. Yes. And then Captain Amara, she can fly it. Yes.
Amara looks at Uskar and says, I don't think there is a citywide ship, Uskar.
Okay, maybe
and
smaller.
She looks back at the group and says, I'll stay.
No, that's not how we're doing this, Amara. That's not how this is happening.
I mean,
I feel
do they
like
have 6 spots on the ship, or do they have 6 spots?
It sounds like to me what he's trying to tell me, and Ratchet, you can tell me whether or not you agree, that we have 6 spots in the vehicle to get to the ship.
Well,
None of us are staying tomorrow.
Hey, Oscar can go on the top. No,
You can just hug. You can hug the top of it.
I have
right?
a lot of big arms. I can hug the top.
All right, hang on a minute, guys, before we get too crazy.
In terms of what your dad said, and he looks at Chandra, the car that is going to the ship, which is the last of whoever's going to whatever ship, has room, including you and your dad, for 6 people. I would assume that means that, I mean, if that's all his cars that are already gone, and he said that everyone else, assuming there's an everyone else, was already on the ship, that he's only willing to give up 6 spots. I mean, people came out of that car, like he's leaving people behind for this. That's like a big ask, you know?
Yeah, he literally just told some of his workers that they can't go if we're going.
You mean
Okay, what if we get another car?
I don't know if this means that the vehicle's the only thing. I feel like he might be saying the ship literally has 6 spots.
no, the ship that we came here on, the only one that like I mean it's not just 6. And besides, like the staff of the house, it's not just 6 people. I mean, and she like looks at Johnny embarrassed and she's like, I don't need people to serve me, but we do have like cooks and cleaners and secretaries and like other people. It's not just 6. So probably there's more room on the ship, but just not right now. I mean, you wouldn't.
Your father told me, first off, that he wants you to talk to him. He would like to talk to you, and that was out of what looked to be fatherly intent. He just wants to talk to you, not on a video call. So that's first thing. Second thing, maybe it would take you to getting, maybe you can talk to him for us. I mean, I talked to him. He's in agreement to take us, but only 6 people.
I mean, like I want to stay with my. I mean, I just like whatever's going on here, and she like looks around kind of awkwardly. I mean, it's scary, and I really would prefer not to be here, but not if that means leaving Johnny behind. So if he says that we can take Johnny and, a couple other people, like as many as can fit, then that seems fair to me, I guess. And then Racket looks at the rest of you, obviously more than 6 people, and looks down the street and says, if y'all were still wanting to do something ridiculous, we could follow the car.
I think Cupid pipes in at this point is like, where was that forklift that we brought in?
Forklift.
That thing, I mean, like you could use that if you want, but we have
one person.
We have actual running, working vehicles. They don't fly, but
you say so.
You saw one in the street when you came in.
I had
like
coffee in my face.
We couldn't go through the barricades, so we'd have to like follow in a roundabout kind of way, but I mean, that's an option if you really think there's more room on whatever ship he's using.
I mean, he seems like a reasonable person. If we just happen to show up with a bunch of us, I think that maybe he wouldn't have the heart to turn us away as the ship's going away. We could just kind of show up and he'd have to let us in.
Yes, we could give him a puppy eyes. Say, please. We don't want to die.
I think
so
Uskar should lead that part of this mission.
Yes, I can do it right now if you want. I walk over.
It sounds
I mean, I don't.
Okay.
I mean, he's my dad, and he's great and all, but like, if he was told to do something some way, that's the way that he's gonna do it. I don't.
Yes. He has to listen to your mother. Yes, or she tell him, bring you home. Okay.
What?
No.
No. My mom, she's not. And then Johnny like touches her shoulder and does a little like, it's okay.
Okay.
I think Cupid's behind like Cletus going, stop.
No mom stuff.
Scar's just looking around and okay.
Damn it, Uskar.
Okay, so
Should have known.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you probably, I don't know if you guys know anything about, like, Torhild and Nuda and everything, but they're, not generally, I mean, like, we've only studied, like, what we've learned from here. I've lived here my whole life, but they're not generally impressed by puppy dog eyes. Kind of strict. I mean, I know that he does it because he loves me and all, but like, this is the most I've ever broken his rules, or probably in a lot of trouble.
I mean, we got to be honest with ourselves right here. This is not like chit-chatting with your like best friend or something. I mean, he literally has a job to do. And for us to get on that ship, it's going to take some work. Or we're just going to have to take the ship ourselves.
Racket like looks around when Cletus says that and says, I mean, that'd probably be the best way to get the most people out, but I mean, unless one of you has the ability to like knock out ships' weapons, that would, I mean, if they turn those on while we're outside, even in a car.
Could we maybe... Well, I know that both Amara and Cubit are real good with ships. Could we get you guys on the inside and maybe we could try and disable it and make it follow like he's suggesting? Because I don't feel right if we leave people behind, and I'm sure as heck not letting any of us get left behind.
You have to get me real close. That's...
I mean, don't forget, we still have to go back to Sean.
Yes.
We're not even done. So, I mean, we kind of need that ship.
Yes, we have people to save.
Yeah, we need that ship.
Savara, who's been like probably standing, like helping someone fold something. I don't know. She likes folding things. She looks at Cletus when he says that and hears the word like save. And she's just like, her eyes well up a little bit. Like, you remembered.
Aw.
Gaius is just like menacingly like pointing a gun at different things.
He just like shooting stuff.
He's not actually shooting right now, but he's looking like, I'm ready. Fight time.
So if we have 6 seats that'll get us to the ship. If we send Amara and Cubit and obviously Chandra and Johnny, I think maybe some of the rest of us could come back with Racket and not, obviously, probably not tell them that we're planning on coming too.
Yeah, we could follow in a separate car.
Get on the ship, Cubit, because I mean, as far as they have to know, you're just gonna take the spots on the ship, not help the rest of us get on.
I'm not leaving you guys behind. I'll do my best to help, but we're gonna have to make this work. He believes that she's coming with us.
Well,
Wait.
I mean, she is gonna come with us.
Yes, but then
Wait, are
we bring
you?
everyone else. You know, the whole planet, the whole city.
Are you saying that Cubit goes on the ship and then opens the ship to let us in?
Yeah, I'm saying we get the first 6 of us and hopefully have Amar and Cubit so they can try and get to the weapons part of the ship. And like Racket said, we can't get everyone else on with that part functioning. So they kind of get in first and disable things, and then we can bring the rest of everyone. This sounds real dangerous.
Yeah, you sound
Okay.
like you're gonna be doing. They might have some dangerous stuff over there.
Me have a big brain idea, okay? Okay, so he cannot take us because he not have room in the car, yes? Okay. Does he know we have other car?
I mean, he hasn't come in.
Okay.
Obviously,
So
we got
maybe-
the barricade up,
Yes.
and like one of the guards who's like kind of getting a little tired of just pointing a gun outside of the barricade, like accidentally like kicks the back of it with his heel, and like part of like a chair that's stacked precariously like just shifts a little bit. He's like, oh, barricade, super official. But yeah, so I mean, if
He not
If
know we
we
have
had-
car.
I mean, we live in a city, so like chances are maybe like 60-40 that we may or may not have a car,
Okay,
but
so maybe you go tell him, you say, hey, actually, we have car. Uskar is very smart. He said that we have a car, so we can follow you to the ship.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes,
Just tell
see?
him.
Maybe we just tell him.
Yeah,
And it's
that's
also-
a good idea.
Yes. Good idea, Amara.
Great idea.
Hey, Chandra, do you want to
But-
go talk to your dad?
And Johnny like looks over and he's like, "Oh, I'll come with you." And so she nods and she's like, "Okay, but I'm not going with him until we figure all of this out."
That's good.
Are you gonna come with me? Or
Yeah,
okay.
it's gonna be a little while. Take a long time to walk.
That's fine. I'll just. And she like takes some deep, like almost like hyperventilating breaths. Like, I'm gonna go talk to my dad when I know I'm in trouble. Like, okay.
We're not like worried that he's gonna try and like take her or anything.
Yes.
Right?
I'm a
And I say
little
this
worried
kind of
about
like
it.
hushed
Yes.
to the group.
Right. So you don't say it loud enough so she can hear.
Yeah, just kind of
Okay.
like maybe Uskar, do you want to maybe go with some muscle in case the situation might need it? I just don't want them like taking her or anything.
Methinks Uskar being there would be intimidating. You know me, I'm very big. And then maybe he would look at me and say, "Oh, this who you running away with?" And she'd be like, "No." Okay, but Uskar is just there. He's so big. You don't know. So-
Well, maybe Amara,
Yes, Amara.
as the captain,
Yes.
you know, you have that fancy looking sword thing. Maybe you can kind of go, and it makes a little sense to have like the captain and the not
Yeah.
her Chandra, not a hostage. She's not a hostage.
Not a hostage. 100% not a hostage.
I think if we had Cubit and I go to the ship and the rest of you guys trail behind us, we can maybe sneak you on.
Yeah, but we're talking about
Yes.
telling them about the car, though. Isn't that what we thought about first?
But aren't there only 8 spots on the ship?
We don't know that yet. Chandra said there is more spots. We think he might just be talking about the vehicle.
And Racket, like Chandra and Johnny are like already like kind of preparing themselves away. Oh, that was not for any reason. Shh. But Racket basically says, I mean, I'm all for being honest with folk, but if he said that 6 was the most and we're going to try and get more out of him when we don't really have a lot to offer, like he's already losing a number of people for our sake. Maybe not telling him about the rest following would give us the element of surprise.
Right.
Yes. Okay, but then maybe. No. Okay, me not know.
How about we make a vote? How about that?
Me vote yes.
What? Yes, telling him or yes, not telling him, says Gaius. Sorry, accent. Yes to telling him or yes to keeping it? You know, personally, I'm on board with the don't tell him, sneak up on the ship, hack the weapons, and use them to our advantage.
I'm just rolling these to fix the screen. Don't worry.
Thank you. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay, I vote that whatever you guys think is best, I'll do it. How about that? Because I can't really say whether or not I give a shit which one happens. I just want to get to safety. And I want you all to be safe.
Yes, me agree. I'm voting for that.
So if you ladies want to figure out what we're going to do and vote on it, then we'll make a plan.
I mean, Cubit, Amara, have you ever disabled a ship's guns? I mean, I think you could do it. You seem both real smart, but
I think Cubit pops up and says, well, he's definitely not leaving without his daughter.
we know that much. Yeah.
If we want to get off this planet, we need to stick with her. I know we only have 6 spots, so we have to make this work. If you can trust us. I think we can do it.
I mean, without you guys, I wasn't getting off the planet anyways. So it's, you know, if it doesn't work out, it's like, you know, I'm just down a couple bucks that I gave to the captain. So.
And I agree with
trust
her
you both
too.
enough.
I agree with her too. At that point, I'm like, yeah, I don't think we were going to get off of here without either one of these plans. So I feel like either one is going to work really well because it's the only options we have.
Okay, so as a group, do you all agree to tell or ask the ambassador, like, we have our own car, we can bring the rest with us? Or are you going to follow and not tell him about that and try and, like, secretly get the rest of you on the ship?
First one was what Uskar suggested, that we tell outright. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Just
but
tell him
whatever
we
the
got a
group
car,
ends
we'll
up
do
going
it, it'll be
with,
fine. Yeah.
Uskar will end up doing.
That's basically where both Cletus and Uskar are. They're both like, just tell him, we'll take the goddamn car, we'll go. Like, but after realizing that there's could be some really bad complications to that, and the better chance we have of is just not saying a word and then letting our smart techs do their job, we could probably pull this off.
I would say that Racket and Gaius, at the very least, piped up with, like, don't tell him a thing. We've already negotiated for 6 spots. Let's just do what we want to do and take what we need, sort of deal, basically. So that's kind of the I think the rest of you need to kind of break the tie as to whether you think you should tell him about that you have another vehicle to use or not.
I think Amara's fine with us. I'm open to, like, telling him and seeing what happens after that, and then choosing the sneaky route.
I have a question.
Yep.
I have a question too. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. That's my fault.
No, you're good.
I have, like, really high charisma. Do I even have the option to roll against, like, telling him? Like, if we did tell him, I could roll my charisma, and how does that work?
Because, like, basically, like, when you were talking before, he gave you what he was willing to offer with no roll necessary. Like, that was his.
That was just my work, like, did well.
Like, you role played well. Yeah, we come to the table. This is what he's willing to offer you. If you wanted anything more, you would have to, one, have something to negotiate with, whether that's like, no, we're keeping your daughter, like, even if she wants to go with you, we're not going to let her, or anything. Like, if there's more that you can give him than just, we will give you your daughter, that would be a negotiating chip. Basically, you have to have something to offer him, or some way of selling it to get more than what he's willing to offer, basically. So he's given you, this is what I'm willing to give up. If you wanted to make a roll to get more, you have to basically role play and say, like, no, that's not enough. We want more for this reason, you know.
So if we go out there, per se, and we said, hey, here's your daughter, and then we tell him, like, maybe let the daughter talk or whatever, and then we tell him, hey, here's the deal, we want to bring a second car. Then I would roll. Is that how that would work?
Yeah, that could definitely be the case. It's just like, you have to, like, if you wanted to negotiate more, if you wanted to get more from him, that's when the roll comes in. I gave you what he's willing to get just from, like.
Sorry, I'm still new at this, so.
Oh, it's totally fine.
Well, and if we did tell him, I mean, it's not like we're bringing just people that are not going to do anything. Like, I'm a physician. We have a pilot. We have a engineer. Like, we have skills. So maybe that's, if we do want to tell him, maybe that's a bargaining chip. I still think maybe it's better to just kind of surprise him, and I don't know how much I trust official folk on.
If he says no to us, couldn't we just still bring the car later?
But they'd be ready.
You don't know where he's going.
I know, but couldn't we still just let the 6 go? After we get denied the car option? You not get what I'm saying?
You still have the option to just send 6 people, of course. But like I said, you can't go directly behind him. So like there's a barricade in the way. So if you were able to, as soon as he leaves, follow him, then you might have a chance of just going fast enough that you could find out where he's going. But because you have to go around this barricade that Racket made, you cannot just directly follow him. So you will have to have a way of finding out where it is that he is going to, because you don't know where his ship is right now. You don't know where it's located. And he's not offering that information to you. He's willing to take however many people in the car. You don't know whether he would like take their compads away so they couldn't report back to you where they were going. But because he only offered 6 spots, it's likely that he would try and do something to not just like, and now the entire city of Tiver is at my ship, you know?
I mean, it's not like we're looking for a small coffee shop. Like, we're talking about a giant ship sitting somewhere. It's not going to be hard for us to follow him
on an entire planet.
Yeah, but he's not going to. I'm assuming he's not drove like 27 hours to get to us. Like, he's probably down the road.
Maybe it's underground.
He drove from the neighborhood over. He drove from the ambassador, the ambassador's house. Yeah.
Okay, what do we do?
Cubit pipes up, and it didn't sound like he was willing to let go of his daughter. So she needs to be there. If things do go south, we don't have any sort of tracking. We don't have any sort of way of following him immediately.
I mean, Cubit, you would know that you could like send your location on your compad, but cases being like he wouldn't just like, oh yeah, totally, just tell them where we're going.
I don't think
you
he
know,
would willingly let us do that.
Well, if you're gonna try and disable the guns anyways, is there a way from the ship you could ping one of our compads? We might not have yours, but that's like first barriers if we don't have compads. But ideally, to disable the guns, you're gonna have to get to the controls of the ship somehow. So then you could maybe send us a message.
Yeah, the biggest problem that we're going to have is if they're trying to get away in a hurry.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that Cletus wants to go out there and try and like negotiate with him we have an extra car, we'll just go with you. And if that goes hairy, then you want to try and just get to the ship and like send out your location and then have the rest of you follow.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that would be a good plan.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, then let's do that.
Yeah.
So Cletus on his cane goes to the barrier. We have the 2 guards standing at the barrier. We have Racket there. Uskar, you were going to come as well?
Did Amara go or no?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, so then Uskar would
So
come.
you're
but I'd
all
be
standing
like,
right behind the barrier, but the people going out to speak to the ambassador,
Yeah.
Cletus, Racket, Amara and Johnny. I mean, not Amara and Johnny. Chandra and Johnny. Anyone else?
I'll be past the barricade, but I won't be talking to them. I'll just be past it like 10 feet behind them.
Okay, so you're basically going to be standing there being muscle.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So the 5 of you, did I count that right? Approach the ambassador. The sun has started to rise a little bit in the sky. He's checking his compad and talking with somebody. And then like checking again, and then he notices that you've come out. He notices his daughter there. He rushes forward, and basically, are you going to stop him from coming directly up to her, or?
God, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know if I should tell him to not come near his daughter. Like, that's a hard one for me, because that's his daughter. That would be an Uskar thing, right? Like, Cletus can't say, don't come any closer. Like,
I mean, you can say whatever you like, but if you're not going to make an immediate action, if you don't have like an instinctual thing that you want to do, then he probably just gets to within like reaching distance of her, and then Johnny reaches out his hand.
I would let it then.
And so the ambassador takes a step back, and his daughter is looking a little like teary-eyed and like, oh, I'm in trouble. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dad. I just like, sorry, I didn't like tell you or whatever. And he, having been stopped from just like running up to her, is like, you've made your choices. And certainly they will have consequences when we get back. But if you won't leave without this young man, who else is coming? Is this the lot of you then?
Yeah, so we made a decision. We have one other offer to make to you, since you told us the parameters of the deal. We have a separate car, and we would like to put our people in that car and follow you to the ship.
I don't know if you understood correctly. I have 6 seats. I have 6 staff uniforms, 6 staff members that have been reported. These people who don't know you and have no reason to have agreed to stay in your place. I will not be replacing all of my house staff and employees with strangers. And you can tell that the pause was like he wanted to say something more rude.
I feel like you don't understand the situation.
I feel like you don't understand. This is my ship. This is my daughter. I am willing, out of the kindness of my heart, to give 6 of you a ride off of this stinking planet.
I don't think you have a heart. To leave that many people here to die?
No one has said anyone is dying.
Do you honestly feel like in this situation people left here are going to live? Can you be honest about that?
I am not party to whatever negotiations are happening between the Jorhildian government and your own. But we do not customarily annihilate planets, sir. That is not what this is.
Well, if your daughter's coming with you, then we're all coming with you.
My daughter is my child. You are a stranger to me. I don't understand why you equate the two.
Well, she ain't going unless we go.
Is that your final offer then? All of you, or you will take my daughter as a hostage?
I'm not taking your daughter as a hostage. Your daughter doesn't want to go with you without her friends.
She like turns to you and she says, we said Johnny and me, and save a few people from, whatever's going to happen. Like, we can't take the whole city. Amara's behind the barrier.
Oh, I thought she came up.
No, it's you, Skrar, Johnny, Chandra, and Racket.
Skrar,
Yes?
do you think we should just let them go?
Okay, Uskar thinks that we are your family now. It is nice to meet you.
I don't know you. I was willing to give up 6 spaces.
Yes.
That's all I have.
Okay.
That's all I'm willing to give.
I'll walk
So
closer.
either you're willing to accept that, or you are not.
Okay, Uskar has a proposition. Okay, you stay, and we take the ship, and you stay with your daughter, and then you're very happy, and then we can go, and we save the whole planet. Okay, and then our captain, she flies us. She's a very good pilot. Okay.
If a shuttle were to leave the surface and not transmit the appropriate codes, you would be shut down.
Okay.
It is my ship. I have my own pilot. I have my own staff. We will be rendezvousing with a Jorhildian battleship.
Mhm.
They would notice if I, the ambassador, were not on my own ship.
Okay, but you tell them, you say in advance, you say, hello, it is me. Yes, I have given my ship to Uskar and this whole family, and now they're flying outside of the atmosphere. And It was
Hey.
very nice to meet them.
Sir,
Uskar.
sir,
Yes.
you're
Who's
so
Scar?
kind. I don't
Okay.
have time for this. Either you're willing to accept the 6 seats I have offered you, or you are not.
Yes, Oscar was thinking about that. We have another car, so we can take another car. You only have
No.
6 seats in the car.
Uskar, come here.
Yes,
Come here.
I am here.
So we step aside for a couple moments.
In a moment.
What if?
So you
what
two
if-
are you two are stepping aside to have this conversation, like away from him to hear.
Correct. Correct.
Okay. Okay.
What if we had him give us the code in agreement that his daughter and the ones with his daughter go with him?
Yes. I'm thinking that this situation is no longer ours, so we must knock him out, you know?
So
or-
you step away and you're having this conversation, and in the middle of that sentence, you hear a gunshot. And then Johnny falls to the ground. And the ambassador grabs for his daughter. And all of the staff that had exited the vehicle take weapons from their bags.
Qu-
And then we go to break.
Thanks, everyone, so much. You out there at home for watching. Thank you so much. We're gonna take a real quick break. That was a fantastic cliffhanger. Don't you know what, guys? You want more? We want more. We all want more. We'll see you. We'll see you in a few. We'll be right back after these messages. Wow. welcome back, everybody, and thank you for the
I think the
patience.
best thing that we can do to start off the second half of this episode is to roll some initiative. So all of you that were behind the barrier, all you heard was a shot and then like the crumpling of a body. For those of you that are in front of the barrier, you hear the shot, you see Johnny fall to the ground, you hear Chandra like belatedly shriek like she didn't realize what was happening as her father grabs her by the wrist and starts dragging her toward the SUV. ATV, whatever. So the way that we would roll initiative, which basically now that things are going into more of a combat situation, we're basically going to slow down time a little bit so that we can say, okay, what is this person doing? What is this person doing? So first things first, on the quick menu, there should be an initiative button on the top right of your character sheet.
8
All right.
for me.
So 8 for
yes,
Uskar,
7 for me.
7 for Amara.
7 for Cubit as well.
Okay. Cletus.
One for Cletus.
Okay. And Gelpy, what did you get?
I got a 5.
Okay. And I will roll for Racket.
Did it show for you guys my roll? I got like a weird error.
It showed for me.
Yep,
Mhm.
it
I
showed
see
for
it.
you.
Okay.
It was like, sorry, you were banned from Roll20.
I know. I was like, what did I do?
You
Okay,
can
so
never
Racket
leave.
got a 2. I think he's a little bit in shock from what happened. And the Jorhildian military / house staff situation, they got a 6.
Sorry, there's 6 of them, right?
There were 6 of them,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
And then the gang of guards that Racket has. 1d8. They get a 5. Okay.
Ooh.
So that's the wrong order. Descending order. All right. So the first person to act when they hear this shot is Uskar. What do you do?
Oh, that is so perfect, because what I am doing is I am protecting my good friend Cletus. If I hear that, I would immediately get in front of him and try and take him and I to cover.
Okay.
So I don't even have to worry because this girl is doing it.
Yes, you have me. I am very strong.
Okay.
What would I roll for that? I want to pick him up and
So
start
this
taking him
is-
behind the barricade.
This feels like your main action here is probably going to be it feels like it's total defense,
Okay.
which in this case it's as an action
Oh, yeah, we have
total
those
defense is an
handouts.
instant action. Yeah, there's a bunch of actions in combat. You
Sorry.
have a handout, which is fine. But basically, I feel like for your main action, the usual thing is to make an attack. You can also do fighting withdrawal. So that would mean like moving away. You're not
Yeah.
really in melee with anyone.
No, I was even purposefully a bit farther.
Yeah.
behind, right?
Yeah. I feel like your move action, I would say that you could use your main action to do like a double move action, which would help. It would be basically you moving yourself and Cletus.
Okay.
So you use your move action and your main action to just kind of drag Cletus out of the way. And you can move 10 meters, which will definitely get you back behind the barrier.
Okay. Yeah, so I want to pick him up and I'll do not worry, Cletus! And start running as I'm running over Amara! And put him down behind the barrier and kind of stare at Amara and Gelpy and whoever else is there and see what they're doing.
All right. So Amara, you are next. What do you do?
So you came to me, Uskar.
Yeah, you got
You brought.
Yes.
Yeah, Uskar, you heard a shot, you heard someone fall, you heard a yell, and then Uskar and Cletus run behind the barrier.
Okay. Okay, so that changes everything I just had planned in my brain.
The beauty of it.
What's going on? What happened?
I do not know. There is a shot. Do we have a moment to look? Is there like
You
what are they
definitely
doing?
because you were outside, you saw that Johnny fell. The ambassador grabbed for his daughter and like started like it's not his turn yet, but he started moving her towards the ATV.
Okay.
And all of the members of staff have equipped themselves with weapons, one of which was used to shoot Johnny.
Okay, so I'm relaying all of that to you, Amara, especially the part where he hasn't taken his turn yet, so he hasn't moved. And I'm also taking cover.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna take my monoblade and I'm gonna unsheath it and kind of like have it ready for going out there and I guess avenging this person that I do not know.
So you can make a move action and you can make what's called a main action, which would basically be like an attack is a main action. So basically
ready an attack? Can we do that?
You could ready an attack, like hold an action. So basically you're like, later in the round after this person goes, then I will do my action. But like, what is it that you would be readying to do? Like after someone gets a shot, like you have to tell me like when you want to do your action.
They're like a good distance away too, right? They're not just like 5 feet away from us.
No, you're able to move 10 meters in a round, which is like a fair amount of distance. So they are within 10 meters of where you are right now.
Okay.
Because like you were basically standing in a line. You walked a little bit away, but like that's basically the range.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So when did you want to hold your action until?
Would it be too vague to say until someone in my party chooses to?
You could say I want to go after Gelpy or I want to go after Racket.
Right, because they're still out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, I would honestly let Uskar make the first move because once he puts me behind the barrier, I'm assuming he's going to war.
My turn's over. I gotta wait a whole round now.
Oh, okay.
So everyone else gets one action and then Uskar will get another one. So you could say that I want to hold an action until an enemy comes around the barrier and then make a melee attack.
Okay.
Like you could say that, or you could say I want to go after Gelpy or Racket or whoever does.
Okay, I'm gonna say I want to go after Gelpy.
Okay. So if Amara is holding her action, Cubit, you're next. What do you do?
I look at everyone that's coming to the barrier. I'm still kind of like holding my coffee. I toss it down to the ground and I think I want to stay where I am, but ready my laser pistol.
Okay. So what are you're readying an action for, like if someone comes beyond the barrier?
If someone comes within distance, I would like to ready my weapon.
You can move to like be within distance right now.
Okay. I don't know if there's any cover for us to kind of move to.
So
It was just
the
like
way
the
that
car
cover,
whenever you-
the way that cover works, you have this barrier that they built.
Okay.
So if you were to be behind half cover, that would make you, that would give whoever's trying to shoot you a -2 to hit. If you're behind like complete cover, like say I go to the barrier, I shoot, and then I duck back behind the barrier, complete cover gives them a -4 to hit you.
Okay.
So right now you're all behind complete cover, except for Racket and them. But being behind the barrier means you're behind complete cover. There's not like an open view. They have like the barrier, the 2 guards, and then the space to like get behind, and then another wall so no one can see directly through, right?
Okay.
So you're able to navigate within that space and still have the cover of the barrier. But they also have the car, right? So they have, if any of them were behind the vehicle, they would also have cover.
Can I talk out of character real quick?
Of course.
So I don't know how to relay this to the rest of the team. And I don't want to like spoil anything, but I'm assuming on my turn, considering there's not a jack shit I could probably do that will save anybody right now other than getting to Johnny and helping him, because I do have healing. So I'm just wondering, like, how do we set that up? Like, especially when there's line of fire and my turn, like, I just don't know how that works. I've never done this before. So I just move that way anyway.
If you wanted to get to Johnny, you would have to take 2 actions. The move action you have on your turn, and then an action to try and stabilize him.
Okay.
That would mean that you wouldn't also be able to duck back behind cover afterward. You only have, like, if you're behind cover right now, you would have a move action to get to Johnny, and then your main action to stabilize him. And then the next turn, which would mean that you'd be out in the open, you would be able to try and go back again.
Okay.
Right? So if that was something that you wanted to do, there's that whole like turn round of other people's actions where you would be out in the middle of the fight, basically trying to stabilize this guy. So if you wanted to do that, you would probably want to have someone like defending you, or, you know, in some way.
Like I said, I've never done this, so I'm wondering if that's like, do you tell the rest of the team that out of character, or is that something that I would yell in character?
You can. The thing with fighting in this is everything is happening within, like, someone's round is like, I don't know, 6 seconds or whatever in D&D, but you can definitely say, like, not on your turn, like, I say to whoever, like, talking is an instant action. You could just speak whenever.
Okay.
So that doesn't have to be like, I can't talk until I'm on my turn. Like, you can talk whenever.
So if the character yelled, I need cover to get to Johnny.
Yeah, you can do that, and then the rest of the group would know that that's what you intend to do. Yeah.
Okay. Keep going. Sorry. I just want to make sure. I never done combat before. So.
Yeah, none of us have ever done combat in this game before. So it's absolutely totally fine to question how that works. You can speak on anyone's turn. That's a free action. That's an instant action. You can tell them what you intend to do in character. You could say, what should we do, guys, out of character? But everyone only has a move action and a main action on their turn.
Okay, so I think with that being said, I hear Cletus, and I run to where Amara is to kind of signal that I am assisting with her. Like, she's got her weapon out, she's ready to go. I move to, I'm guessing, still behind cover where she is, and I want to ready my laser.
So at that point, when I see you around the corner, I need someone to cover me. I need to get to Johnny.
I think Cubit would yell back, "You got it, Cletus," and kind of like run over to where Amara is, put her hand on her shoulder, and kind of like ready up her pistol.
Okay, so what action are you readying? You're readying to fire?
I guess, would it be like a ranged attack?
Yes.
Yeah.
And what's the trigger for your action? Like, if somebody shoots at anybody, I guess?
I think if one of the people in the staff or someone tries to approach Johnny. Yeah.
Not Cletus, obviously. Okay.
Not Cletus, yeah, but someone that's already out there in the field, either Racket or Johnny.
Okay. So if any of the members of the ambassador's staff attempt to approach Racket or Johnny, you will fire on them.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, well, that's things are about to happen. So what happens now is that the daughter is going to make basically a physical saving throw to see if she can throw off her dad. And that, I believe, is a D20 that she has to. So she cannot throw off her dad. He is going to drag her back towards the vehicle. She's like fighting him the whole way. And then the members of the Jorhildian, they're wearing their uniforms, they have laser pistols, they're going to take cover around the vehicle and be like aiming in your direction. And that's their turn. the snipers who are standing in the windows immediately fire. And we'll see if they hit. So, right. Okay. We have 2 snipers.
Oh, can't wait for this to fail.
Yeah, they're gonna do great, I'm
Buses
sure.
in the chat, guys.
It's fine.
So the
Racket
first
has
one
great-
misses.
Oh, maybe not.
It's like a spirit bomb.
The
We believe.
second one also misses.
We believe.
So they are standing in the windows of these apartments that are overlooking this wider boulevard, and both of them, as soon as Johnny gets shot, immediately just burst fire. Both of them are just young, like obviously not military, not super well trained. They've held a weapon before, they've shot a weapon before, but never like by surprise. It's always been intentional. So both of them are kind of just shooting everywhere. Neither one of them successfully hits any of the military members. So Gelpy, it's your turn.
Cletus, I think we should try and get Johnny back here. If it's okay with you guys, I think I'm gonna try and drag him behind here because I don't think it's safe out there to try and stabilize him.
Okay, no, Uskar will get. Do not go out there. You will get hurt.
I can hide behind my backpack.
I don't know.
I have med kits.
No, this is a job for a man. The woman, you stay safe. We need you to heal him. We cannot
But
lose you.
I don't want him to bleed out.
No.
Think you can rush in there and get him?
Yes. We just have to wait a little longer.
If you can,
Go ahead.
go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Go.
I was gonna say, if somebody can cover me, I can get to him and start working on him right now.
I don't think that we should work on him out there, though. I think we need to pull him to safety. Stabilizing takes time, and I don't feel comfortable any of us doing that under fire. They're already shooting, and they can't hit them, obviously, so I don't want one of us to get hit out there.
Just so you guys know about healing, how it works is the difficulty check gets one level, like 1 point higher for every round since the person was downed. So the longer you wait,
Yeah.
the harder it will be to get Johnny back.
And even either that, he's been hit by a bullet like head on. Like he may not even be there now.
Okay. So the longer we wait, the less chance we have. You shall go.
I'm gonna I'll try and grab him. Amara, Cubic, can you cover, and I'll like pull my backpack over my head and try and just run out.
Sure.
And I'm gonna try and just grab whatever limb is
Okay.
close to me, and I'm just gonna try and drag it.
All right, so I'm going to ask for you to make a check.
Okay.
This is a completely unconscious or, limp body on the ground. So this is going to be an exert check. So you can use your movement to get to where Johnny is. He's laying on the ground. He's bleeding from the head. And then you can do an exert check to attempt to drag him back with you.
Okay. This is gonna go great. It's fun. I'm a physician. I've worked with bodies before. This is no problem. Where's my menu? Exert is what's the modifier for it?
You don't have a modifier. Sorry, it's strength.
Strength, okay. Skills. I lost it. Exert. Oh, please. Don't be horrible.
I'm so sorry.
What do you get?
So yeah, Gelpy, you got a 6.
Make the cartoon.
Dragging a limp, unconscious body 10 meters back to cover is not a simple task. A 6 is not enough to get him all the way back. So you're able to start moving him, but you can't get yourself and him behind cover again. So that's your turn. Racket next, I believe, is going to shoot at, like, he sees you going for Johnny. He sees you trying to move Johnny. He also sees the blood pooling from Johnny's head. So he's...
His head?
It was... Yeah, they weren't in combat. It's like a murder shot, basically. He made the shot. He got past Johnny's, like, armor class. So, yeah, not much to be done there, unfortunately. But Racket is mad. He's very mad. He's very upset. So Racket is going to shoot. And let me just... Racket's a little bit better at shooting than his friends were.
You know.
Racket is so mad that he cannot appropriately aim. Racket got a 7. That's not enough to hit anybody. So Racket just takes, he's got like a combat shotgun. It's very impressive. It looks a little bit homemade. Cubit, if you looked at it, you might see some tinkering on there. But he basically takes the shotgun, yells, and while he's pumping it and taking it from his shoulder, he just fires and it goes over the top of the ATV. Cletus, it is your turn. What do you do?
So my move, as I said before, is to get to Johnny.
Yes, and Gelpy has helped bring him a little closer to the barrier, but he is not yet all the way behind it. So it would be the same check on your part.
That's under skills?
Yes, so if you go to skills, it's an exert check with strength and exert.
Oh, and add my strength in there?
Yeah, under ask by exert, you'll put strength, yeah. You see that?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'll put strength there. And are you on the quick menu? Skills?
Yeah.
Go ahead and click exert. I already click strength for you. Should
Click
work.
exert. Okay, and then it says modifier.
There's no modifier.
Okay, I did get to that. I was just wondering what modifier I was supposed to use.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
there's no bonus or anything. So you got an 8.
I got an 8.
I would say that with an 8 and with the distance that Saji was able to move him, you're able to get him to the barrier. Both of you together are basically kind of clogging up the entrance to this neighborhood, trying to drag the body of Johnny through. So you're at the barrier currently. Uskar, it's your turn. Both.
Hang on. I'm not done yet. Hang on.
Sorry. Yeah.
So I drag the body as far as I can get it with as much exertion as I could use. I'm extremely heavily out of breath. I'm hurting really, really bad. And I basically take the opportunity to open my little pack and start like pre-planning out how I'm going to do this.
Okay.
And I roll his body to the direction of where his face is looking at me, and begin like the process of a normal like healing situation or reviving. And I realize that his eyes are not exactly responsive.
Nope.
And I see that there's a major size hole in his head. And I look up at Gelpy, and I look back down and I look up at Gelpy again. Gelpy? I don't think we can do anything.
I think we can still try, Cletus. Let's try. Let's get him to safety, and then let's think about if we want to try and get back Chandra or just get ourselves to safety. But let's get Johnny out of the fire.
Okay, we'll give it our best shot.
Okay. So let me say we should be safe. They're like, is she still trying to fight to get away from her father?
Yeah, she's like yanking at him and like yelling and crying because she just saw the boyfriend that she loves so much get shot in the head. She's covered in blood and definitely trying to get away. She's not yet in the car.
Okay. looking at that, and everybody, all of us are here behind this kind of barricade and safe-ish, right? I think
You
we're all
are
accounted
under
for,
full
yeah?
cover, yes.
Yeah, we're all accounted for. So Uskar's
Yes.
just gonna stay here then, and I'll also do the total defense action if I can. I don't know if that's an
So
instant
total defense
action,
is
not a
an
main
instant
right?
action that
Yeah.
basically means that you can decide when it's not your turn to take that as an action and sacrifice your next turn.
Oh, okay, my bad. I thought that was a. Oh, so that's like a reaction in D&D.
Or you can decide that you use your main action for this round as total defense, and then it will just basically be all that you do. And then if you need the instant action, you'll take that action. So you could sacrifice this round's turn for total defense, or if you decide to use it during the round, it would be next round's turn that's sacrificed. Basically.
Okay. Well, I think since we're behind cover, I wouldn't have to do that right now. So I'll actually just like pass here, kind of hang out behind the barricade, bunker down, and kind of look at the rest of them and go, okay, so we should stay here. Okay, we do not chase her. We let her go, and then we go get the ship. Maybe. Okay.
So do you want to basically like hold an action? So if like someone comes at you,
I mean, I guess, yeah. Just for mechanically, if anybody comes, if any of them come at us, I'll hold my action to shoot at them. But as far as that, I'm not going to do anything else.
That's totally fine. All right. So Amara, you're still at the barrier. You see Gelpy and Cletus dragging the body of Johnny past you. You see out in the middle of the avenue, the street, this massive shiny black ATV, and Racket like pumping his shotgun and just shooting at the air, and obviously like moving the gun down to shoot towards these people who have killed his son. And all of them are hiding behind cover. You might suspect that because there's a turn order that when they weren't shot at, they didn't shoot, but because they were just shot at by several people, it might be different next turn. And you see that the girl, Chandra, is being bodily dragged into the vehicle by her father. What do you do?
Okay, so I have Wild Psionic as one of my things. Is that a full action? Using that guy?
So basically, you chose the telekinetic armory, right?
Yes.
So you could, as an on-turn action, so right now, you can create weapons or armor. You would choose what you wanted to create. And then, so it would be either armor or a weapon. And it can be a visible or invisible weapon or armor. And you can attack with that. And
yeah, so I want to kind of like direct this weird wild psionic thing that I'm doing, magic looking thing, at Chandra, and I want to put some armory on her and make it to where she is. Okay, question: is the armor invisible, or does it make the human or the thing?
The armor itself could be invisible. Let's see. It doesn't say anything about you not being able to put it on someone else in terms of the armor. No, it has to be on you. It grants you a base armor class, so you can't put armor on somebody else.
Yikes. Okay. But I can give someone a gun?
No, it's your hands that fire.
Okay.
You can shoot, you can have armor.
Okay. So I'm not going to do my... I thought it was something else, so we're not going to do that. I'm going to stand next to Uskar, and I'm going to ready my action as well.
Wait, you can't just tell us about this crazy fucking... You can't just say I can make invisible guns and shit and just be like, oh, fuck, I'm gonna pass on that shit right now.
Never mind.
I mean, if you wanted...
I'll do that tomorrow.
The thing here is, like, you were trying to aim at Chandra to, like, protect her.
Yeah, well,
the only person currently exerting any force on her is her father.
Right.
So if you wanted to stop her from being forced into the car, you could try and do something to her father. But if you didn't feel like your character would go that far, then you could just let it happen. Or you could go out there and try and pull her back. I will tell you now that an AC of 15 that this like psychic armor would give you is a fairly good armor class. That means you only have like a 25% chance of getting hit.
Okay, so Amara has this like immense rush of bravery and courage, and she chooses to return back to her like magic diddly thing where she puts her
You can't just
So
say
what
that
is
shit.
it? What does it look like when you're doing this? Like, is there any visual, or are you just like moving your hands around your body and it's invisible, or what happens in that instant?
So imagine that it is like a very, like she's standing very still, she closes her eyes, she starts to almost like, if you see it in The Magicians, like she does like weird hand movements, almost like doing sign language. And I guess this armor appears on her body.
What does it look like?
It is black and it looks very strong. It's definitely going to protect her, you can tell. It's nice. And she chooses to.
It's pretty, so it does the job.
It cute, so it be good.
It's the pretty armor. That shit works
How
every
it
time.
works.
So yeah, she chooses to run after Chandra and try to save Chandra.
Okay, so as your main action, you create this armor. Everyone around you can see that you're suddenly covered with this like black matte, cool looking armor from like head to toe. Does it cover your face?
Yes, 100%.
So she just has like her whole body covered in this badass armor all of a sudden. This person that you've known for a little while, you've been on this ship with. Like, has anyone in this crew ever seen you do this before?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, so
Nobody,
is like,
nobody
No
else
one
has
has
seen
seen her do
Uskar's
this
jaw
before.
hit the floor like that.
like,
You're
like,
what?
like 5 pog champs right away.
and before you
Oh,
have a
fuck.
chance to react, she just darts out beyond the barrier to go for this girl. And that was your main action and your movement action. So we'll have to see if you can get her next turn. Cubit.
I think I see this like magic happen and is kind of in shock because Cubit as a character, I haven't really talked about her background, but is not super comfortable with psionics. So she's a little kind of at awe, but she realizes that the situation is dire for both Racket and Amara. So I think, how tall is this barricade? How is it?
I would say that it's probably like 8 feet tall.
Okay.
You can definitely, if you wanted to like climb on it, you could, but it's not like, it's just made of stuff.
Just like random junk.
Garbage, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's made of people's furniture, and yeah, so it's not like, it would be, I would say if you wanted to climb to the top, it would be some kind of dexterity roll to like not just fall or break it.
I'm also trying to think, like, I don't have very good shooting skills, so I'm also like, I need to get.
None
I
of
think
us
what
do.
Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is like, I'm holding my pistol, I'm kind of in awe, but then I have this sudden realization, like, I gotta go. So I think I run around the barrier and chase Amara. And I want.
So are you?
Because I get my movement, right? And then
Yeah, you can.
Or
Yes,
is it-
you can absolutely. So are you intending to? Because you can go shoot at them and then come back behind cover, or you can just go out there and guns blazing.
I think I'm gonna chase after Amara
Okay.
and try to shoot, but not try to come back.
Okay. So you just want to like be there to back her up. Okay.
Yes.
So you can take your movement and absolutely catch up with her. Like your movement speed is the same as hers. That's totally fine. And then you want to take your main action to shoot.
Yes.
Who are you shooting at? There are probably 3 of these house staff members on either side of the vehicle, and then in front of you, like basically at this point almost within arm's reach of Amara, is Chandra, and then a little bit in front of her father with his back to the car, like tugging on her, and the car is like very close to him. So like he moved one turn to kind of drag her over here, and on the next turn probably will get her into the vehicle. So they're very close.
I know.
So those are your targets, I guess.
Yeah, I know if I shoot on him, he's out in the open, but that risks us getting shot at by everyone else.
Yep, and if you'll notice the turn order, they go next.
They're next. Can I intentionally try to shoot the vehicle instead of trying to shoot at him?
You can try and disable the vehicle.
A warning shot sort of thing, or like a direct shot at a tire or something.
You can try and shoot at the vehicle. You'll have to like aim, and so if you succeed at aiming at the vehicle, then you'll hit the vehicle. If you don't succeed, then you might hit something close by. If you want to fire like a warning shot near the ambassador, I would say that the consequences of missing would be you actually hit him. If you wanted to try and disable the vehicle, you could try and fire at its tires, but the vehicle also has an armor class.
Not butts.
So
I think I'm just gonna do a warning shot at him. Like,
okay,
if I miss, I hit him, but I think I want to try and scare him from stopping.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, you can just go ahead and take that shot. Do you you see the weapons on your sheet on the quick menu?
I see weapons.
Yeah, that should have your weapon on it.
All right. Wish me luck. No modifier.
You got this.
I roll a 12.
Okay,
wow.
So a 12 is enough to hit, which in this case means that you don't hit him. It's a warning shot because that was your intention. Instead, like right over his head on the black shiny armor of the vehicle, there is the burn mark of your laser pistol, and you see his eyes like dart up to yours and widen like shit.
And I think I'm yelling at this point, like, just stop. Don't move. Kind of just like as threatening as a small little mechanic can yell.
Okay.
A demonic voice comes from her.
So I'm gonna tell you that you can't do like a skill like talk check or intimidate check and a shoot. So you can say that, but you can't make a roll to actually get them to stop.
Okay.
Until next turn.
That's fine.
So like that's absolutely like you can do that, but it'll be next turn when you make the roll, just because of like how many things you can do. So they still do get a chance to try and get back at you, and that's what they're going to do. Try anyway. I have my sheet here. Okay.
Just for clarification, me and
Kelpie.
we're
Kelpie.
Yeah, sorry, that's not what I was thinking of something else, and it all happened at once in my brain, and
it's totally fine.
I don't think very well. All of us are like behind a barrier, right?
You and Gelpy are currently at the entrance to the barrier because you both didn't get a full success. So with the both of you, you've gotten him to the barrier. You're kind of like standing at the barrier, but you're definitely within like a half cover right now, but not full cover. So if someone tried to hit you particularly, they would take a negative to their shot. But I don't think, because you weren't attacking them, that's not probably the situation. But you're not behind full cover until like your next turn, because
there's more targets than me out there right now.
There are definitely, yeah. But you have like partial cover right now.
Okay.
So the Jorahillian staff are going to shoot at the strange armored person who just ran, and at also at Cubit, because she shot at the ambassador. So let me just see. Okay. I'm going to do a bunch of rolls, and I'm so sorry. The first three are at the armored Amara. They have to get a 15 or more. So let's see. Okay. That is a hit.
Ooh.
That is not a hit. And that is not a hit. So one of them hits you, Mara.
Yikes.
And let me see what damage they do.
1.5. 0.
1.5.
0.1, please.
7 damage.
Oh my god.
That's a
Hello,
lot
I'm
more
gonna
than
die.
0.
Save me. I need
How many hit points do you have,
I
Amara?
have 8.
I thought she had armor.
They
Yeah,
hit.
what's
They
the-
did. They overcame her armor. They rolled a 16, and her
And it
armor
went
is AC
through?
15.
Armor
Oh,
is
I
shit.
see.
Oh.
It's not shit. It's really good. But you take 7 damage.
Oh.
Shit.
So
I just yell like very Witcher-y. I just yell fuck.
okay, and now for Cubit.
Wait, does your armor like come off now? Does it just like
Yeah, like my like shoulder.
You still have your armor until you like stop committing effort to it. Like if it came off when you were hit one time, then it wouldn't be very good armor.
Oh, I'm committing effort.
Yeah. So
Was
this
there anything else about like her getting shot? Like, was she knocked prone or anything, or is just like knocked the armor off?
no, the armor's not off. She's not knocked prone. She's just been shot with a laser
Just been
pistol.
shot.
So
Okay, cool.
maybe like you feel a burning in the side of your chest, and you look down and you see like your armor like phase in and out of existing, and underneath you can see your skin and the clothing a little bit burned around it. But also Cubit, what is your armor class, Cubit?
13.
Okay, so
Oh,
I have
no.
to roll a 13 or better. That's not a 13. That's not a 13. And that's also not a 13. Everyone
Ooh.
misses Cubit. So
Love to
you
see it.
HP and she dodges everything.
you see in front of you Amara like pause in reaching for Chandra and look down at her side, and you know that she's been hit, even though she has this really cool armor on. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
Okay, now we have the gang. So the men at the barrier will have a chance to react now, and the snipers will have a chance to not be so shit. They will shoot at the Jorhildians. Yes, a hit. Not a hit.
Oh.
Not a hit. 2
Oh.
hits. I'm so proud.
2 16s. That's not bad.
Okay, and then
Told you, Racket's got good people.
It would have been funny if they did 2 16s and 2 5s.
okay, so one of the Jorhildians just goes down. Another one is damaged, but he's still standing and kind of like holding his shoulder with his gun in his other hand. But one of them does hit the ground, and I'm gonna make a morale check to see what the rest of them do. So morale checks in Stars Without Number is basically being like, one of your buddies gets damaged, so do you just turn tail and run, or do you continue fighting? So I'm rolling a 2d6, and if it gets a 10 or greater, they will run. It is not. So even though one of their friends went down, they are still like keeping themselves in order and making sure to defend their ambassador. So there are now only 5 soldiers. Gelpy, it's your turn.
Cletus, I think that I'm gonna try and use and Gelpy's gonna like rip open her bag, and she's gonna pull out a Lazarus patch and like rip it open and try and prep it.
Gelpy. We need to make a very big decision right now. I know you're about protecting and healing, and I understand, but I think we should save what we have to help Amara. I don't think we can save him. Look at him. And you look...
His face has been shot
Yeah.
in the middle of it.
Yeah, there's no saving this guy.
Is there any pulse at all?
No,
He's not. He's unresponsive at this point.
It's basically like if you didn't know a sniper was aiming at your head and you were just standing in the middle of an open street and the sniper had a totally clear shot and just shot you in the middle of the head, would you be alive? No, probably not. He didn't expect
Poor
anything,
dog.
and they overcame his armor class entirely. So it was just murder.
Yeah.
That's fair. Then that delays everything. Hold on, let me think.
He is right. Amara is hurt.
We gotta get to Amara, Gelpy.
Gelpy, you were at the barrier, so you weren't behind it.
still,
So you
like-
definitely were able to see that both Cubit and Amara were shot at. Cubit, you can tell that she's okay, but you're probably too far away from Amara to know that she was shot, except for she did yell. So, like, it probably sounded like she was hurt.
Amara, do you think you can get over here and I can try and get to you? I think you need to get out of there.
Do I hear this? Like, is this something that I can?
Oh, yeah.
Yelling.
You're all within, like, 10 meters of each other.
Where?
That's like 30. That's like 30 feet. You can definitely yell
Gelpy can
within
scream
30.
like a siren. She's like, oh!
Okay, so I'm gonna assume that you can see me, and I'm just like, I'm not speaking because I'm freaking out internally, and I just thumbs up you.
Your internal organs are also freaking out.
Yeah, they're kind of like falling out.
Then I am going to pull out my laser pistol just to look threatening, and I'm going to use my movement to get to Amara.
So, do you want to use your movement to get to her and then use an action to heal her?
If I can, yeah. I
Yes,
don't know if,
that is
I
an
thought my movement
action.
would be a full action. So.
You have a move and an action.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So, you can definitely do that. So, because healing. Let me just check. I have this somewhere.
I think it would be
Okay,
a-
so you want to heal her. You have a she's not at 0 hit points. You have the heal skill, right?
Yeah, I have the heal skill, and then I also have the lifts, which look like they don't have to be 0.
Okay, let me
But I
just
don't know how those work.
read what the lifts. Okay. The boost speeds recovery dramatically and heals 1d8 plus your heal skill in hit points after 5 minutes of rest. She doesn't have 5 minutes of rest.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, can get them back on their feet and active again.
I mean, she does if she leaves the scene on her turn, right?
Yeah, she would have
You have
an
to
amount of
walk
time she would have to like exit the situation. Let me just check what your healer skill is. What level are you at heal? Just 1?
Yes.
Okay, so you can. Oh, that's 10 minutes of first aid. Okay. So let's see. You're not critically injured. I'm just checking. You can roll.
Can't shove like the herbs down her throat. That's like not.
Yes.
Well, the other thing
know you're
too
fighting.
is, and I
Here's
want
his
to
taste.
be, like, I want to be like obvious here. She's got that crazy armor on still. Like,
She does.
For us to get to her,
Out of 6
either-
shots, only 1 hit anybody, and it just happened to be her. But
Yeah.
like, it's definitely not.
to get to a heal, we're gonna have to
Yeah.
either get that armor off, or we're gonna have to like break through the armor. Or
Well, I can stop
think she
committing my
just
effort,
missed
and I can turn off the armor. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think actually instead of my movement, since she gave me the thumbs up, I'll delay.
Okay.
So as soon as she gets to half cover, then I'll give her the.
Okay, so
would
you're
rest
gonna
be
hold.
half cover? Does she have to be full cover? Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh, you can just say like she can definitely just get back behind the barrier, and like it was just that you weren't behind full cover because you were dragging this body.
Okay, awesome.
So you could say I'm gonna hold my action when she gets back here, then I'll apply medicine.
Yep, that works great. I will have the lift ready to like.
Yeah.
I'm imagining like an EpiPen just ready to like jam it.
She'll like.
Okay,
Like
so
threatening
like-
with my medical supplies. That's all we got.
okay, so you'll do that. Racket is going to shoot again because Racket's mad. He's a mad dad. He has a +4 to attack. He's very good. I don't know why he failed last time. He's actually pretty good at hitting things, and he's probably going to fail this time because I said that he does. Okay. So he's just angry and he's just shooting wildly. Probably almost like he's behind you two, Amara and Cubit, and you can just hear him like yelling and roaring and shooting the combat shotgun over and over again towards these people who are very easily just hiding behind the car. But he's very upset and probably hasn't even noticed that Johnny has already been dragged away. So Cletus, it's your turn. What do you do?
So we're both behind the barrier now, correct? Or do I still have to make that move?
Oh, it would just be like as part of your move action, you could get Johnny entirely behind the barrier because it was just because you were dragging a dead body, right? That's all. That was the reason why it took you an extra minute.
All right. So Gelpy, when Amara gets here, are you gonna get her all set up?
Yeah, I mean,
You gonna take care of her?
I have a lift. I think it'll help.
It will.
But she might need a little bit more. I'm not sure.
So I pull my pistol out, which I've never in my whole life used. Other than the shot that I made on the crazy lizard in the desert.
Yeah, you shot a lizard before.
Oh yeah,
So I pull the pistol out, and I look at it, and I like pull like the button, and then I like look at it, turn it side to side. All right, Gelpy, I think I'm gonna shoot it. So I stand up.
Well, good luck, Cletus. You're probably better than both of us with the gun.
So I stand up and I like aim over the edge of the barrier, and I attempt to fire at one of the guys who are probably still visible that were shooting at us. So the closest one to me.
Okay.
Near the car.
Okay, absolutely. So you go ahead and like go to your weapons and click on your laser pistol. Damn!
And
Holy shit,
19.
Cletus!
19.
You 100%
guy.
hit. So just specify to me, are you shooting at the unarmed ambassador or at one of the staff who has a weapon?
Once it's shot. Or
Okay,
we're
all
attempting
right.
to shoot.
Okay, so go ahead and roll. You did 2 damage. So were you specifying trying to shoot at the one who was like already injured and grabbing his shoulder? Or were you shooting at someone who was not injured?
The injured one.
Okay, so he's down. You kill him. You see him, like, you shoot at him. You are like, your aim is so dead on that you see your laser hit the back of his hand where he was already gripping his shoulder. And he looks down at his hand and sees the like burn and blood bloom on the back of his hand. And then just like falls to his knees and then hits the ground.
And then I turn back and sit back against the barrier and set my pistol down on the ground. Gelpy, I think I hit him.
Did he let out any sort of like yell or anything?
I feel like you would have seen, because you were looking for Amara, that he was just kind of like shocked by it and then just like fell forward.
Cletus, I think you did. I think you're gonna have to teach us how to shoot some lizards like that next time, because
I just wanted to try and help. I didn't realize I was gonna hurt somebody.
Guess you killed him. Good job.
Let's not talk about killing him. Yeah. You're helping us. You're helping us, Cletus.
All right. Well, Uskar, now it's your turn. You've seen one of the snipers from upstairs in the apartment take down one of the staff. You've seen Cletus dart out from behind the barrier and finish off another one. What do you do?
Okay, so I'm walking out, and I'm yelling at Cubit and Amara as I go up beside them, and I'm, what are you doing? It is dangerous! Amara! Capitan! How do you have the armor? And I'm going to do a ranged attack with my laser rifle. I'm just going to try and get up close to them and kind of cover Amara and Cubit.
Okay.
But also fire at them.
Okay. So are you aiming at one of the Jorhildian staff that has the guns?
Yeah, I wouldn't aim at the ambassador if he's not shooting. I'd aim at the staff.
Okay, absolutely. Go ahead and make that attack roll.
Okay, so now I've never done this with the rifle. Is this in the quick menu?
Yeah, in the top right on the weapons.
Okay, weapons.
There's a special weapons quick menu.
Laser rifle. Oh, I have a burst option. Is that a...
So what the burst option is, let me get to that page real quick. I believe that it gives you a little bit of like cover fire, but you're less likely. Oh, here we go. Burst mode. You can fire 3 rounds of ammunition for a +2 bonus to hit and damage. So that means that you're dumping more ammunition at a time. For a laser weapon, that basically means they spread the beam and run the circuits a little hot to like give additional power, which means that your battery or whatever will run out.
Okay. Yeah, I think I've got like a... I think it's...
The laser pistol? Is that what you have? The laser rifle?
Laser rifle.
You have a 20 shot magazine.
Yeah, there we go. I was going to say that.
So your battery can power 20 shots.
Yeah, I'll do burst, I guess.
Okay.
So I'll click yes on that. Submit. No modifier, right?
No modifier.
Okay. 22 to hit.
Holy Jesus! What the fuck?
12 damage. Holy Lord!
You almost crit on that. So tell me what this looks like when Uskar runs out and just annihilates one. Like you double kill this guy.
I'm like running up and I'm yelling at them, and then I'm turning and I turn the gun, and I'm saying, "Get behind me!" And I just pull the trigger and just let it go on the I guess the closest one to the van. Probably get the kickback from it that he's not quite used to. But there's a look in his eyes as that guy falls down or is
it's a laser rifle, so I feel like you just see the center of his body just disappear in this massive circular burn that you can just see through like his spine. Basically, you can see his bones are like singed and all of the soft matter of his stomach is kind of gone in this circle, which was the wider beam of your laser rifle.
Amazing! Yes! Okay. And that ends my turn.
I feel like you and I would do a high five.
Holy crap.
I think I just shot this guy. But...
Oh, yeah!
I am extremely impressed.
That's nice. It actually tracks the ammo on the player sheet too. It actually says that I've used 3 there for using burst. That's nice.
It's pretty rad, yeah. So Amara,
we have perfect shots, psychic armor. We have like
I don't know how this happened, but you're standing there and you can feel the life draining from your body. What do you do, Amara?
So I'm giggling because I think what Uskar just did was amazing.
Giggling.
Yeah, just big giggles. So
you can see this guy's spine through his body.
Question: did I help Chandra at all, or did I just?
With that 10 meters of movement, you basically got within range, but your action was to equip yourself with the armor, so you didn't have the action to like tug her back.
Okay. So what's going on with them? Is he still trying to fight her?
He's pulling her into the car, but he has not yet been able to like shut himself entirely into the car yet. No.
Okay. So I think it would be silly for me to give up on what I was trying to do. So I'm going to try to grab Chandra.
Okay. So I'm going to have you roll.
Wait a minute. Before you do that, hang on a minute. Did you not just give a thumbs up to Gelby? What's going on here? Aren't you supposed to be going back to L?
You can change your mind. Yeah.
Sometimes people lie.
If she sees an opportunity, she's got to take it.
Sure. Sounds good.
I just got shot to save this girl. Like, I'm not going to give up. Come on.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
okay.
She's got her decisions to make.
That's absolutely true.
If I die, I'm sorry.
I'm going to say that you can roll. It's basically like dragging or pulling or assisting her. You can roll exert to try and like give her a little extra oomph to get away from her dad.
Okay.
And that's going to be a strength and exert too.
Okay.
Quick question: do we do another one of those rolls with another 2 of their members getting annihilated just now?
When they're at half staff, they will do another morale check.
Okay.
Yes. It's like the first time someone goes down, and then when they're at half power again.
My modifier for strength is like a -1, so this is.
Yep.
I believe in you.
Good old Mara. 5.
You feel yourself grabbing hold of her body, but when you try and tug, there's this searing pain in your side, and you just can't exert the strength to actually help this woman. Do you want to use your move to fall back, or do you want to try again next time?
So that was a skills check, yeah?
Yeah, so that was a main action. You would still have a move action if you wanted to use that. No one's within melee range of you. That's like...
Do you mind if I used the expert ability to reroll my skill thing?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can reroll a failed skill check for sure.
Cool. We're gonna do that, and we're gonna hope for a good thing.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Okay, it's a 6. That's got it, right? That's gotta be
That's
the one.
gotta be the one.
Definitely.
Surely.
I dragged a dead guy with
Easy.
the 6 a little bit.
I mean, you dragged him a little bit. I will say that you feel that happen where you can feel your hands on her, and then like the searing pain in your side, and then you just like you grip a little harder, and you're just like, no, like I'm not willing to give rid of this. And I will give her the opportunity to make another roll because you've assisted her. I don't remember what it was that I rolled for her. I've done a lot of guns rolling. I think it was just I will just roll a flat skill check. And if she gets it, she can pull away. You gave her the opportunity to try again, basically.
Awesome.
So I'll give that to you at least.
Yeah.
With a 9 plus your help, let me see. That's a significant challenge to a competent professional. They'd still succeed at more often than not. I would say that she's able to get her father's hands off of her, but she doesn't have the ability to like get completely away. But she's definitely out of his grasp.
Okay, and I yell as I'm like, like falling, I guess. I yell to Cubit, help, Chandra!
Okay, so you, because you used your reroll a failed check, that was still just one main action. Do you want to use your move action to like get to cover? Okay.
Yes, I'll go back.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, Cubit, you hear Mara yell, help Chandra. What do you do?
I think I'm still standing there with my pistol kind of just like pointed. Like I'm trying to be as intimidating as possible, and I kind of want to try to spin this to where we're convincing the ambassador, like he's broken, or his daughter's broken free from him. And I want to try to like put this like, hey, we're outnumbering you, we're taking out your staff. I don't know how to vocalize that, but I just want to be like, I don't know if
Can you just yell stop? Can you just be like, stop?
You said that I have to use my talk from my previous one, right? Because I was like, stop.
I would say like, no, you can like talk to him again, but like now you have the opportunity to make a skill check because last time you didn't have the main action available. I think
I want to try to use notice to kind of be like, look, we're outnumbering you. We saw that we kind of intimidated him with the shots, his warning shots and stuff. So I kind of want to try to be like, look, you're outnumbered. You need to stop.
I don't think that notice particularly will, like you could definitely yourself see those things, but in order to convince someone that that's indeed what they should do, it would be talk, or like at the very least lead, like you could say a good leader would, etc. But I don't think notice is that, unfortunately.
I mean, I have a really high talk, so you just have to get me out there somehow.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of people between.
Gotta wait 3 turns for you to walk
I know, right? It's like a long time for that.
I want to prevent him from leaving, but I don't, because the Jorhild guys are right after us.
I mean, you could definitely just say, like, use a talk, like, you could talk. You could roll talk with that same thing. Like, dude, your people are going down. Like, we've got you outnumbered at this point. Just give us what we want or back down. Like, you could definitely use talk. I'm just saying that notice isn't the appropriate skill.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I will try to do that.
Okay.
As my main action.
Okay. So that's going to be like, yeah, talk and charisma. Or if you like were to bring in his like leadership ability, you could use lead and charisma, but I think they're the same skill for you. So
yeah, they are. Okay. So I click on that and then is it skills?
Yes.
And then talk.
Mm-hmm. No.
6.
No, I don't think a 6 going to be enough. This man knows that if he were to just like give up, like he's going to be in some kind of shit. So like a 6 isn't quite enough. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
So he looks at you and he looks down at the gun in your hands and he looks at the blood on your clothing and he says, even if you got to the ship, you'd be dead before you could take a step on board. And then his men are going to make another morale check. And if they don't decide that it's, too much, then they're going to take their action. So let's see what the morale check says. So again, if I roll a 10 or greater, then they will decide that this is not worth it. Let's see. Nope. So they're still fighting. There are 3 of them left. There's 1 on the left side of the vehicle, and then there are 2 on the right side of the vehicle, one of which has just been downed by Uskar, and they're looking kind of scared, but, they've been in fights before.
Does that shake their rolls?
No, the morale roll that I just made was whether they would decide to like turn tail or be scared enough not to be able to fight. Because they succeeded on the morale check, then they're still able to hold themselves together and fight whether they're scared or not.
Gotcha.
So they will make the attack rolls. And I've made a lot of rolls this session. So it's 3 of them left. So 1. Okay. 2 and 3. All right. So one of them shoots. I should have said whose roll was on who. But I would say because Uskar was the last one to hit them, the first one fired at is you, Uskar. What is your
17?
Like that? Is your AC?
Yeah.
Are you fucking shitting me right now?
I'm a huge boy.
How do you have 17 AC?
Because I have the innate armor, and I have armor with
What did you get innate armor from?
From the Ironhide ability.
Oh shit, I forgot you had Ironhide.
Yeah, Ironhide and Die Hard.
Okay, yeah.
And,
damn.
and
okay, so your armor
warrior?
class. Your armor class is 17.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Okay, so you basically just get like shot. It hits you, and you look down, and it's just like a light sunburn. And
Yes.
How the fuck? Okay, and so the second shot is let's see, who is the last person shot? So you downed I would say that the second shot is going to be on Cletus, and that's a miss because you were the second to last one to shoot, and then the third shot is on Cubit. What's your armor class, Cubit?
I think it's 13.
Okay, because you were the other person to shoot at them.
Yeah.
It's 14. They rolled a 13, so you are not hit.
Sweet. So it's not the armor class that's next to my armor.
It's at the very top where it says armor. It says AC 14.
Oh, that thing. Okay, yes. So, sorry.
So it does some math with what armor you're wearing and what armor you have naturally. You get a bonus to your armor class based, I think, on your like dexterity or something. But you have the armored suit, and then you also have. Anyway, it doesn't hit because it's a 14. So they shoot at you. They hit your armor cubit, but it's ineffective. Your armor absorbs the blow. And then the gang at the barricade and at the snipers attempt to shoot at these 3 remaining Jorhildian staff members. How is it that you guys are doing so well? I don't even know, but that's fine. And we can figure out what happens afterward. So these gentlemen, the snipers, will go first. They're aiming at the remaining Jorhildians. That's a hit. That is not a hit. And the 2 gentlemen at the gates, not a hit. And a hit. So we have 2 hits, and I'll roll the damage. Okay. All right. So another Jorhildian is down, and 1 is injured. I should have given them more HP.
Why, you wanted us to die?
I wanted it to be at least some kind of a threat. I wanted it to be
It is a
scary.
threat. We're just badass. I'm sorry.
I didn't know you were gonna be so badass.
We're
I'm
unstoppable.
scared.
They just
Okay.
have missed a lot, right? They almost one-shotted Amara. Like,
Yeah.
that
Yes.
was- she's like, oh yes,
He's dead.
look at
They're
this sick
threatening.
armor, and then, oh, never mind.
Yes, I have.
Oh, God,
I have. I have missed a lot. It's true. Okay, so Galpy, your turn is next. You wanted to. Amara is now back behind cover. You wanted to do some healing?
Yes. I didn't know if she needed to go the full turn to get behind. So perfect.
No, she used her movement action. So
yes, I
you are able to, with lift, you can, what is it? You roll a heal skill. Let me make sure. I think it's like lift gives you a certain like DC for your int plus heal. It looks like
she's not mortally wounded.
Debatable.
I think it's hard because like it has like if you're mortally wounded, and then it's like if you have a ton of time. I would say just roll 1d8 plus your heal skill, because she's behind cover, and just use up 1 dose of lift.
And then to add my heal skill.
So just go ahead and do /R 1d8, and then your heal skill is at 1. Yeah,
Yes,
plus
yes.
1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Plus 1. 4.
Okay, so Amara, you get back 4 hit points, but you are gonna be like, you have to stay behind cover for like a round for the lift to kind of like juice you up again, basically. And that's me being like you're gonna need some time. So let's just say we're standing in the street and all of this is happening, and we do like a zoom back from this situation, and we see everything laid out kind of like it's been paused and everyone's frozen. We have 3 members of the Jorhildian staff wearing their green uniforms, now stained red with blood, one of which has a huge, massive like burn through the center of him. We see Uskar holding the laser rifle and like laughing with his like he's literally has been shot at in his arm, but his skin is just like tough and absorbs the blow.
Suntanned. It's just really tanned.
It's just red. We see the ambassador standing, looking like he's got sweat on his brow and his hair is a mess, and his hands are still like reaching forward as though he was grabbing his daughter. We see her like pulling back out of his grasp, covered in the blood of her lover, looking terrified. And we zoom even farther back and we see on the ground behind the barrier the just now unarmored body of Amara Day, who was mysteriously clothed in a black material within 6 seconds. It completely covered her, and none of you know how or why. And I guess we'll address that next time and see how this fight finishes up, because you guys were indeed incredibly more badass than I anticipated. So I'm honestly impressed. I second guessed myself and I gave the enemies less HP than I was going to, and then you kicked it so far out of the park. I am like, wow, I feel like you played me.
Next
But I'm
week.
excited because like I'm excited to see where this goes next. I think part of being a good GM is being like, I didn't anticipate that happening, but what's the next thing that we're gonna do? Y'all potentially have an ambassador in your hands now, so we'll see how you decide to move forward.
You didn't realize Cletus has been like throwing darts in his bar for like 19 years?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, next
True
week that
shot
truck.
Cletus here.
That truck is gonna have fucking guns mounted to it. I just forgot
Roll
to
up
let you
with-
guys know. Well, anyways,
Compartment.
stay
I'm
fire.
so excited. So in between this session and next, can you tell everybody where they can find you, and if you have anything else exciting coming up other than totally blowing your GM away? Let's start with Tadriel. Where can people find you?
Hey, yeah, you can find me here on Twitch, twitch.tv/Tadriel. I play variety games. I am working through many games right now, one of which is God of War. I play a lot of Siege with Starbuck. I'm okay at things. And yeah, that is me.
Awesome. Sagittari, where can people find you?
So yeah, I'm Saji. You can find me here on Twitch, but I more so post my art on Instagram. So Instagram/Sagittari with 2 eyes. And I do a lot of like abstract, spacey, cute Zodiac babe illustrations.
Zodiac babes.
Very, very
Sorry,
cool. No, they're
needed it.
awesome. I'm still in shock. But Cletus, where can people find you between this week and the next?
Streaming all the time.
That's it.
That's all I ever do anymore.
Enthusiasm.
And is that it?
Stream it on twitch.tv/CletusBuford. I have found some crazy love for like ARPGs, so I'm like partially in Woken. I've played a little bit of Path. Then all of a sudden now I'm playing this new one that I can't even remember, but I've got all these ARPGs going and it's chaos. I'm going to be playing one of them at some point.
Awesome. Well, call me Starbuck. Todd already mentioned you two play a lot of Siege, but where can people see your side of the story there?
My side of the story is here on Twitch as well, twitch.tv/call me Starbuck. That is me. I play a lot of Siege as of late. And I'm streaming after work, so you'll find me during the week after work.
Awesome. Very, very cool. And last but certainly not least, Jesus, that fucking laser rifle. I don't even know, man.
It's your
Like,
boy, 17 armor class. What's going on?
What is going on with you?
I play a lot of Path of Exile. Everyone makes fun of me for it, but I play a lot of Path of Exile.
You play Tim with me.
Oh man, is it the Pokemon game?
Yeah, it's so
I was
fun,
looking at
dude.
it. It looks cool.
I'm addicted.
It looks cool. I
I have
literally,
to stay away.
I am so addicted to Path of Exile. But I also drink a lot of coffee, so if y'all want to come and see that, come and check it out on my channel, or catch all of our other shows that we have here on Tablestory throughout the week. If you like this show, join our Discord. We have a Bystanders like Discord channel. You can come in there. You can ask us all questions about our characters if you want. You can ask us stuff after the session, all that good stuff. Thank you all so much for watching.
Awesome. And you can find me at twitch.tv/BlueJay. I'm probably going to talk about how I fucking prepared this, and I rolled 1d8 for their HP, and then I was like, nah, they're a little more tough. They've probably seen some fights. Let me roll 2d8. And then the first shot that was fired, I was like, no. I'm going to go back to the roll I had when the 1d8, literally in the session, I edited their HP, and I shouldn't have, but I did because I like you and I felt bad. But that's me. I feel bad and I like my players. So you can find
You
me.
got trolled.
I did. I'm proud of you though. And like either way, it went super well. Like you guys turning out to be like super massive badasses is like definitely a way the story can go. And like we'll see how it changes how you handle combat going forward. And maybe next time your rolls won't be quite so good, is what I'm saying. But you can find us and the Bystanders next week on Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. And I really do hope that you join us for the next session. We'll be finishing off this encounter and seeing what happens next. So please, please, please hang out with us some more. Tell your friends. It's gonna be a great time, and I can't wait to join all of you on that adventure. So have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you later.
Bye. See you all next Thursday. Peace.